My sister tried to steal my trust fund because she thinks she deserved it more.
Well, you gotta trust that you didn't.
My 38 female family is a little messed up. I essentially have or had 5 parents and 3 different groups of siblings. It's a bit much.
5 parents and 3 sibling circles.
That's new to me. By the way, this comes from Reasonable Cat 57, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but guess what?
What, Riley?
We don't have all the answers.
No!
But if you have some answers, what should you do, Sophia?
You should go to
Sleep.
OK Storytime
No.
subreddit.
No, just comment.
You should go
Oh.
to sleep.
Sleep. Go to sleep.
Okay. I want you to comment. Anyways, Opie says, as a child, I was living in the U.S. with my adoptive parents, and a lot of things went down that weren't great. So I moved back to the UK when I was 9. I had a lot of trauma and the beginnings of rather a serious substance problem. So my U.S. dad set up a trust for me before he passed so that anything mental health related was paid for, and I didn't have to stress about being able to sort it out myself as I got older. Dude, that's huge.
I bet you I know why your sister doesn't think you deserve the trust fund.
Oh.
Said, but I was a good baby. I was a good little girl. And I deserve all of the money.
I kept all the candy out of my nose.
All the clams out of my sinuses.
It's been rather handy over the last 30 years, paying for a home when I was a teenager, therapy rehab, basically anything needed to help me not pass away. At some point in my teenage years, I made contact with my biological parents and their other kids and was welcomed back into the fold, okay? Some of my full siblings had issues with this. Fair enough. It was a big change to everyone's lives. My little sister, now in her early 30s, apparently found it particularly hard, and so we never got along and have been no contact for almost a decade. She hates to see a successful family? Is that what it is?
It could be so many different things. It's complicated when it's like you've got a lot of help from somebody. You've got a very complicated family dynamic. You've got 3 different circles of siblings. You've got 5 different parents.
Yeah.
It's you've got a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
And I think who was it? I think it was Awesome Ashley commented something along the lines earlier of like, she just wants the money. Does it have to be any deeper than that? And like, no, honestly, that could be it. But it's like,
So you're sniffing money. Sophia, are you sniffing this?
Yeah, I'm sniffing what you're smelling.
I thought it was like the lack of opportunity is what I'm seeing. It's like, OP, your biological parents want you and they want you back into the fold. Mine don't, because I don't think the sister has the same parents in that way.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's like it's like another layer of that, like what's what's gonna drive this like wedge where it's like,
Okay.
well, I'm taking your money because you don't deserve it the way I deserve it.
This became particularly apparent in recent weeks after she contacted these solicitors who were in control of the trust, pretending to be from a rehab facility in the U.S. She sent them an invoice for a 3-month stay, requesting payment to the bank account of a friend of hers in the U.S.
Oh, so she's doing wire fraud. That's great. That'll put her in jail.
Have we haven't seen this one before, Sophia, have we?
I don't think so.
This first wire fraud mention.
First wire fraud.
All
Ring, ring, ring.
right.
Someone get the bill.
First I heard about this was on a phone call from said solicitors offering their
Commiseration.
that I was due to enter the facility, wishing me luck, and double-checking the details. I am livid. This is tens of thousands of pounds that she tried to steal from me?
That is
Yeah.
a lot of money.
A rehab would be expensive.
Oh my gosh. The money that she has absolutely no rights to. She never met my adoptive parents. She's not owed any money from them. She's lived a perfectly normal life with both of her parents, her other siblings, holidays, university paid for, no big dramas. And she thinks she can just take from me because she wants to buy a house and thinks I should help her out because I ruined her childhood. What?
How did you do that? I posit the question of how did you do that?
Yeah, it seems like OP, you were going through some stuff, not.
Seems like you perhaps were a child.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. In her childhood.
Well, then
so,
see, and this all goes back to like you had problems, and then
Oh.
your bio parents, like maybe she thinks that her situation or her dynamic with them is a byproduct of their dynamic with you, and now you have this, the adoptive parents thing. She
Ugh.
might be jealous of like, well, how come you got to just leave and then end up being, taken care of for everything when you were the one who made all the mistakes, yada, yada, yada.
Except she can't even just ask. She has to try and steal it. I have no idea what to do about this because if I got the police, it will create even more drama in the family that I could do without. And I feel like that's exactly what she wants.
No, she just wants the money, dog. She doesn't want the drama.
No.
She just wants your money.
Our parents will side with her, and she knows it. I don't want to give her the satisfaction, but I'm just so mad that she chooses this specific way to try and take what's not hers. Feels like such a low blow. Obviously, she's getting a sweet buttload of nothing, but WTF. Okay, we got a little edit to add. Poll? Can we get a poll? Police or nah?
I don't know.
Ring,
I
ring,
would.
ring. Hello, police.
I would say nah.
What?
Just because it's like my own personal piece, So because then I'm gonna have to deal with it, and then it's probably gonna go to court. I don't know if you're in the States right now, if you're back in England still,
Yeah.
or the UK, and it's like, well, are you gonna have to go to court in a different country? Like, it's like
I don't
all of it is
know.
like so much where it's just like, of course, and she got nothing. If she had successfully stolen, that
Okay.
money from you, that's another story. But
So you
she got nothing.
You say nah, Sophia?
I think if you could prove it, I don't think it would hurt to go to the police.
So you're saying police?
If you got receipts.
Okay. I think just getting a paper trail started.
Yeah, I think like get that like maybe like I don't know, you don't necessarily have to go through the whole process of like suing or something, but
I think you
like,
kind of do have a paper trail through
Yeah.
the lawyers that have already done stuff.
Well,
yeah,
So there
in
is
that
some
case,
kind of record
that's
Okay.
good.
that it happened.
yeah, I don't know. What if it went through though?
Again, if the money was stolen, then it's like, all right, we're doing the whole shebang here.
Yeah.
But if it just comes to like, if I can choose my own piece over like,
I got you.
You
You're
know.
choosing your piece.
I'm
over
choosing like,
than
I don't even want to
justice.
deal with this because
Okay.
it's just gonna make my life
Yeah, yeah,
less
yeah.
peaceful.
I got you.
You're already not in my life, basically.
yeah.
So
Why bring you back?
I'd send her a card with like $100 in it and be like, next time, just ask.
Edit to add because a few people have asked. My father had to bail me out of a crappy situation a couple of years ago, which included getting a flight to another country to come and get me. Obviously, I insisted he accept reimbursement for his flights, despite him not needing the money, so he would have had the details of my solicitors and the fund from that time. My sister often visits my parents, so I suspect she would have seen the information in my dad's office at some point. I've certainly never mentioned the fund to any of my siblings. We have an update. So she did some sleuthing. That was kind of my question. Like, how did she know? She knew about it, but did she know the bank? How did she get in contact
She's
with them?
moving like a cheeky little thief in the shadows.
Ooh, the sister's gonna double down and get more money.
I mean, if she keeps trying, then it's like, all right, what are we doing? But at this point, I'm just like, ugh, that was so dumb. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think, Sophia?
So the parents are like an issue as well? Is that?
Yep. Yep. They seem
Yeah.
to, whatever she says is right.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like, no contact with these people.
Everyone, no contact.
Anyone who's supporting her.
If you would have just asked, it could have been completely different.
Yeah.
But now if it's like, oh, well, the parents come back and they're like, well, you should help her. It's like, she's your sister. It's like, so we want to reinforce that it's okay to try to steal. You should try to steal because what will happen is that they'll have to end. They'll just end up giving you the money anyway, even when you fail.
Gotcha.
So like, why are we going to reinforce that as good as a behavior that works?
Yeah. So update. This got pretty overwhelming pretty quick. I'm balancing getting things done and tied up with not losing my mind, which is always fun. Join the club. Solicitors are reporting everything for me. as they are indeed required to do. Turns out I misunderstood and thought I had to get involved. But no, it's all on them. Okay.
Okay.
So she doesn't have to worry about that.
There. That's very nice.
I'm going to just let what happens happen. I'll be setting up a meeting at some point to go through all of the transactions made over the last 20 years or so, just to make sure nothing else seems nefarious.
Ooh, yeah. Wait, that's kind of.
Yeah, just
Ooh,
See if
if she
anything
was doing the
else.
slow drip for a long time, maybe
and she maybe
something
tried to
was
get
getting through the cracks, and then she tried this big one,
yeah.
and it didn't work out. That is entirely possible.
She tried to cut open the golden goose.
Yeah, which is everyone knows you don't do that. You just wait for the egg. You got one golden goose, it lays a bajillion golden eggs.
Yeah, but I want more now.
Gotta
Three.
wait for that egg, baby.
Thanks to everyone for the reassurance that I'm not doing something wrong by wanting this sorted, but I appreciate a little less speculation on my life and on the role my parents play in it if you can manage that. We have some comments. Tricerfloppy fun dip.
Tricerflops.
Triceratops.
I like Tricerflops better, though.
Triceratops and Fun Dip says, "You really should go to the police. She had the audacity to do this. There is no stopping her from escalating even more. If your parents side with her, that is also useful information. You cannot trust them, and you should be very careful around them. If not, just cut them off. Do not let these people treat you like this. Family or not, you deserve respect."
Bing bop boom. I agree. Family or not, you deserve respect.
RESPCT. Lucky Therapy 31 says, "What Triceratops and Fun Dip said above." Did I get that right?
Triceratops. My favorite cut of barbecue. Triceratops.
All right. What the person before me said above. Also, this is not probably the first time she tried fraud, scam, and identity theft. Other family members have also probably suffered from it. Ooh, these scammers often try with family first because it gets easier to get family information to set up duplicate accounts. Might want to run a credit check on yourself as well. Wow, we should all take the time and drink some water and check if we've been scammed within the last 20 years, all right?
Drink water, check for fraud.
Yep.
Drink water,
Let's go.
check for scam. Drink water.
Candid Plum says, when you run the credit check on yourself, freeze your credit. That will give you an added measure of security against scammers and cheats trying to open accounts or obtain credit for loans in your name. La 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 says, wire/bank fraud is a felony.
Oh, no. If only we knew that.
Guess what you get when you get 3 felonies?
3 felonies.
Rent for free.
Oh, free rent for life.
Yup.
Woo! Do they still
No.
have the 3-strike rule?
Is
Did they get rid of that? I think they got rid of that.
that a thing still, Sophia?
Yeah, as I thought, it still exists,
Oh, wow.
notably in California.
Oh, nice. Let your solicitor be the bad guy and go after her. Meanwhile, do whatever is necessary to lock down your personal information, freeze your credit, change all of your passwords, add an extra level of protection to your trust. And we got an update 10 months later.
10-month update. I anticipate a lot of legal things have happened.
Oh, yes, Mr. Legal. Like the what kind legal?
I imagine an owl as a lawyer.
See, the good thing about an owl lawyer is someone says something behind them. You just,
Yeah, they can turn their head
on.
all the way around.
I could do that.
It's a power play. It's a move.
They're pretty smart too.
Owls, yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
They're very quiet.
Who?
They fly silently. Exactly. You're a natural.
Update. I don't like to leave a story unfinished. Thank you. So, even if no one is interested, I'm just going to leave this here. A final update about my sister feeling like she's entitled to my money and attempting to steal it from me. So, after months of pretty much just waiting, it turns out absolutely nothing is going to happen.
Oh, nothing legal is happening at all. No legal stuff.
No charges, no consequences, no official acknowledgement beyond a few "we understand your frustrations" emails.
Well, again, she tried to do the thing and she failed. And I think that they're in different countries. So that's a really hard thing to prosecute.
So you're saying if we send an invoice to some people in different countries, we could maybe get money and we wouldn't be charged?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if OP's in the States or not, but I
Yeah.
know that the sister was trying to send the money to the States, or like that was where the bank account was based.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it wasn't her bank account.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, are we prosecuting your sister, or is this like, could this maybe then be prosecuted as like, oh, it was this person in the States, it wasn't even my sister, and because the sister could just go, oh, well, I have no idea what any of this is, and this account was being used not in my, wasn't me.
The friend whose bank account my sister tried to funnel the money into has been fully cleared. It would seem that they had no idea what was going on. The police spoke to them early on, and it apparently became obvious quickly that they weren't actually involved. The U.S. police won't take it any further because no actual funds were transferred, so there was no financial loss. And because my sister is in the UK, UK police have closed their side of things as well because the US cops aren't interested. So she just gets away with being a butt once again, I guess. And by the way, if you're going to be sitting on your butt for a while, you go to your favorite podcast platform. Search up OK Storytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Just search it up.
Give it a search. Why don't you?
Dang. So,
Yeah, so it does unfortunately seem like that's exactly what it was.
honestly,
It's because it's in 2 different jurisdictions and there was no successful fraud achieved. It's like, I don't know what that crime, like attempted fraud.
Cowbody is God says if you try to unalive someone but fail, you can still catch a charge.
Yeah, 'cause
But what
that's
if it's in a different country?
So this would be like maybe like a conspiracy to commit wire fraud,
Yeah.
because that's what you would get if it'd be conspiracy to commit the red rum.
Ming Ming says they won't say, we understand your rage because frustration is an understatement.
Yeah.
We understand your ceaseless rage that burns with the power of 5,000 suns.
So we got a little bit left here. So that's that. 9 months of paperwork and stressful meetings with solicitors and one minor mental health breakdown only to be told it's essentially gone nowhere, which is pretty anger-inducing, but also kind of expected. Somehow that woman gets away with bloody everything. We haven't spoken, and we won't. I'm not sure what my parents' involvement with her these days are, but I know they won't be expecting us to be in the same room as one another again. So I guess that's some level of support. No contact prevails. Woo. Honestly, woo. Would have been okay without an update.
Yeah, that was your piece. Your piece was just being like, letting that go, being like, nothing happened. And you know what? That's the justice in and of itself. And, at least you didn't do like a whole bunch of like legwork on it. You just
Yeah.
basically let the solicitors handle it. But I'm sure that wasn't free.
Yeah.
So that, you've drained financial resources on that. So in a way, she kind of did steal your money because you should pay these solicitors. Maybe. I'm not sure.
One comment here. Lap Steel Guitar says, time for a new bank. That one that she doesn't know about. Opie says solicitors have closed everything down and made it effectively inaccessible for anyone but myself and my husband. So we should be good on that front. Yay! I need a
Yay!
solicitor in my life.
Nah, give me your solicitor.
That'd be good.
I
for
want a
solicitor.
solicitor. I do. I just want to live somewhere where I can go to the freaking doctor and it doesn't cost so much money all the time.
Or
Please.
you
That's
eat
all I want in my life.
dandelions and you do the holistic trail and you don't have to go to the doctor.
Dandelions?
Yeah, just make a
What, just
dandelion tea.
eat dandelions?
No, you make it into a tea.
But I've got the next story ready.
All right.
I refused to give my daughter stuff to my sister, and it made her furious.
Just give her the stuff. Come on.
I'm 33, and my husband and I have 2 kids, 8 male and 7 female. We didn't plan on having them back to back, but it happened.
Oh,
My husband got a vasectomy, and we're set.
snip, snip.
By the way, this comes from Internal Soup 906, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah Claus.
I'm Riley. Elf.
Oh, I'm Vincent. I'm still new here. Hey.
I'm still new. And we are here to give you some good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We would only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do. As OP says, when I was pregnant with our son, we were living in a rented 2-bedroom house and decorated the nursery with olive and wood tones. That sounds so pretty. We kept it the same when we had our daughter and just made room for the baby. When our son was 6 and our daughter was 5, my husband got a big promotion at work that allowed us to look for and buy a 4-bedroom forever home. Since it was permanent, we thought it'd be fun to give the kids themed rooms. We asked them each what they wanted. Our son picked dinosaurs. My husband likes to joke that we have a mini Ross on our hands. So we did a wilderness theme. My daughter picked Aurora, so we did a fairy tale theme. We went all out since these would be their bedrooms until they were teens, and we gave the nursery furniture away since we were done having kids. We asked our families first, but none of them were planning kids at the time, so it went to friends. Presently, my sister is 21 weeks pregnant with a baby girl, their first.
Aw.
She was over at our place and said she was leaning towards something like my daughter's room for the nursery. But nursery stuff is expensive. I told her she should go with neutral tones since it'll be used a lot, as they want a big family. She was like, nah, I want theme ones for each baby like you did with my kids' names.
Oh.
I raised my eyebrows because that's going to be expensive, but nodded because who am I to talk when I kind of did the same? We continued chatting for a while, and she grabbed my laptop and started going through the website I used and complained again. So I suggested that she put some of the reasonably priced stuff on her baby shower list. She gave a non-committal and then said that I could give her some stuff as well. I was confused because I thought she meant the old nursery, and I reminded her that we gave it away. She shook her head and told me she meant stuff from our daughter's room. I asked her what she meant because she's using that room. It's not like she doesn't live in it. She waved her hand and said it wasn't a big deal and that we could part with a few things.
Dude, I don't get it.
I feel bad. I feel bad for OP.
Yeah?
Because it's like, I get that, like, their family and, family always expects, like, you just provide for each other and
That
are
is
always
true.
there for each other and whatnot. But then, like, the child lives in that room. So they are using all of the stuff in the room, I'm guessing. So I don't understand why you would ask for, oh, I need that for my daughter.
But the kids now are like teenagers, and I thought they already gave all the nursery stuff away.
Yeah, they did. That's why. Well, that's why she's like, I want the stuff that you have now.
Oh.
I don't know why.
That's so
Because
rough.
like that. I don't know. I feel like a newborn wouldn't need the stuff of like an
Rude.
8-year-old.
That's entitled.
It is
yeah.
entitled.
It's kind of
Yeah.
icky.
Literally taking furniture from a child. That's crazy. I asked her what she thought we could part with, and she casually said stuff like the drapes, a lamp, the mirror, etc.
Stop. What?
You're just taking the whole room from this child? What?
I'll take this and that and
Yeah,
this.
well, you don't need drapes. And this mirror, she doesn't even want to look at herself.
She probably shouldn't
Oh,
look at herself.
This lamp, she doesn't need light.
Yeah, your child doesn't need privacy.
Dude,
What?
That's
Like, I don't
wild.
understand. I asked her sarcastically if she wanted the sheets as well, or maybe the clothes, our daughter's back. She just glared and told me I could tone down my greed and help out with this. I told her a flat no. It's unreasonable that she is even asking because she and her husband are well off just like us. It's not like she's struggling and I'm refusing to help. She told me it was different because they want a big family, so they need to save more. I told her if that's the case, then they can save by using the same nursery for every baby. She just glared again, called me a greedy witch, and left. She's not replying to my texts. And my mom called to ask me what happened because she called her to complain about me without specifying anything.
Oh, God. Just complaining. I don't understand calling people just to complain.
My mom was just as bewildered as I was when I told her. My husband thinks I'm in the right, and I do too. I'm just confused, and maybe there's something we're not seeing. Edit. Thank you, everyone, for your opinions and advice. After talking about it with my husband and my mom, I'm going to give my sister a couple of days to cool off before I try to reach out to her again and hopefully have a conversation. You may find this naive, but all three of us agree that this isn't like her. Maybe she and her husband are going through a rough financial patch, or maybe he pulled the plug on multiple themed nurseries. Whatever it is, I'm not ready to go scorched earth and cut my sister off after one bizarre entitled demand.
That's usually what people on Reddit do. Get rid of her. Just go no contact forever.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
It's
It's a little thing. You guys can bounce back. Typical sibling rivalry.
She's still my sister, the one I grew up with, the one who held me down when I was going through stuff and kept me grounded, the one who let me nearly break her hand from squeezing too hard when I was in labor until my husband got there. All of that doesn't just go away. Oh, there's an update.
Sounds like you're just giving her reasonable advice. Hey, you're gonna have a bunch of kids. They're gonna be in one room, in and out for 2 years max. It doesn't make sense to have a single nursery room dedicated for each kid, unless you're like those Severance people. It's like it's traumatizing for a
Unless you have
kid.
an innie and an outie.
a kid to change beds. You know how they're like weird about that? Like a child must stay in the same bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And people are like that now. They're like, oh, like switching out beds. Like it's not gonna be like good for them. They need a
People are
stable
like that?
thing. I know, like a person who is like that, who was like, oh no, they need like the bed that they're gonna be in like for the rest of their lives.
What? I thought you're supposed to have a new bed every 8 years.
Yeah.
They like want. I don't know. It's something probably with like gentle parenting or something. I don't know.
Are you
yeah.
I
sure?
just,
That gentle parenting crap.
yeah, I don't agree with gentle parenting. If you do it, cool. I hope it works for you. It would never ever work for me.
What were you gonna say, Vincent?
I think they might mean more like the room that they're in. Like they should be in that one room.
Yeah,
Is
that makes
it?
sense. Like staying
Yeah.
in one room until you leave. I don't know. It sounds like you're trying to be reasonable, and your sister wants a nice time. And if she needs to express herself creatively, I don't know. She might need to think differently. Then put up a different poster for each kid that's in there for that 2 years. You get a
Put up
dinosaur
a different
one.
poster for
You get a little
each kid.
fairy one. Yeah, you know. Oh, you get a cat.
I'm gonna cap.
The update, almost 8 months later. My sister gave birth a few months back to an adorable baby girl. They're both healthy as can be and thriving. Thankfully, she wasn't having prenatal psychosis like some people were suggesting. But she and her husband were having financial problems my mom and I weren't aware of. Her mother-in-law had been having a lot of health issues and her bills were racking up. My sister and her husband had stepped in and were supporting her, which they could easily afford to do, but they had to cut back a bit on their lifestyle. I didn't reach out for a while after my unanswered calls and texts, but Mom kept being on her case, and eventually she reached out and apologized and asked to come over. She apologized again in person and told me what had been going on with her husband, her mother-in-law, his brothers, and their lack of chipping in toward their mother's care. Her outburst was out of frustration with everything going on, and she knows it wasn't fair to aim it at me. She was stressing because her husband had also been putting off nursery talk, and it's the first baby, and she wanted the best of the best for her.
Oh, got it. I see.
I get it.
Yeah, first baby struggles. I've seen some parents, they get very like,
Oh, for sure, yeah. And then like after like a while, they're like, "Oh God, this is
yeah,
exhausting."
by the time they're
beyond."
with their third kid, they're like, whatever. Have 'em.
Me, and that's how that. And here I am. I'm the third of
You're the
four.
third?
I'm the third of four.
Where's Sydney at? Second?
She's
Fourth?
no, she's fourth. She's the last. Everyone thinks she's older than me.
Yeah, that's what they do with my brother Tate.
Yeah,
They always think he's older than me.
yeah. She's not. She is a year younger than me. By the way, you can be our best friends if you want. You can listen to full stories just like this one. If you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or any podcast app, just type in OK Storytime and we come up. And you'll see all these wonderful, fantastic little episodes ready and at your will.
Yeah. We have like 3,000 of them by now.
That's crazy.
There's so many. I've been
And
on
I'm
half of
probably
them.
in at least 20.
Uh,
I'm making my rounds.
You're in the 35, yeah.
35? Wow.
Oh,
How do you know
look
that?
at you.
I'm always in the numbers.
Wow. Anyway, there's an update. Unfortunately, it's been thing after thing for her. A month after she and her husband welcomed their little girl, her mother-in-law passed away. Ugh.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Mm.
gosh.
And a month after that, our own mom had a health scare. Ay. Thankfully, she's okay now, although it brought my sister and me closer. Well, that's good. So, my sister and I are okay. My daughter's stuff is firmly hers and will always be, unless she decides she's outgrown it and gives it away to whoever she wants. Yes.
Just like you did, babe.
Right. Sorry if this is all over the place. I'm just typing this out as it comes to mind since it's been months. That's the end of that story.
My ex lied about us to his family and pestered me for a year.
Leave me alone.
So this happened years ago. I was 37-year-old single mom of 3.
Oh, dang.
I traveled for work, not between states, just inside the state where I live. By the way, this comes from Heavy 304. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm not Sophia.
I'm not Riley.
And I'm not any of them.
That's Keon.
That's Riley.
And I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. You're here to comment and to listen to us and form your own opinions. Nope, he says. One day while I was out on a case, I met a guy,
A case.
Adam.
Are you a...
Detective. One day I was out on a case and I met Adam.
I was thinking social service.
Oh.
But
It's not as exciting.
at the end of it, it is
Oh,
exciting.
yeah, okay. Well, maybe at the end of the story.
He was tall, cute, respectful, sweet, funny, and he had a daughter the same age as my youngest son. Everything was great in the beginning, of course. As it always is.
It's always good in the beginning.
Sort of like cigarettes. They're fun at first.
And then you get lung cancer.
We lived an hour and a half away from each other. No biggie. I loved driving and didn't mind the trip. I'd go see him a couple times a week after my kids went to school. I'd spend the day with him, then drive home in the time to get the kids from their after-school program. I made my own schedule, and it was easy to get the free time to see him, and he worked evenings. I started to find it odd that we always met out in public.
Cheater. Cheat alert.
Uh-oh.
I feel like
he's a
he's
pumpkin
cheating.
eater.
Feel like he's got a secret family, even though you already know about his daughter.
But
I
does
think
he
he's got
know-
another secret
but does
family.
But does she know about her mother?
Ooh.
He lived in a small town, and there wasn't much to do beyond going to the park or eating at a restaurant. So that's what we did every time I visited him. You never even got a good Pound Town in, OP?
Ew.
You never got any
Ew.
of that? Come on, you're seeing someone for like 3 to 6 months. You don't want no Pound Town?
That's besides the point.
It wasn't a no.
Ew.
It wasn't a no. You're right, Keon. It wasn't a no.
Ew.
It was raining one day, and I asked if we'd go back to his place because I didn't want to sit in the car.
Yeah, every time you meet up, you're just sitting in a car together
No, they're at a restaurant in a park, Sophia.
or sitting in a car.
Mm-mm.
Restaurant, park, car. Those are the three options.
Go find a cool arcade or something.
A park car.
Yeah, you can go to an arcade. You can go to a museum.
And there was nothing to do in this town. Well, it turns out that he lived with his sister, her husband, and their 2 kids in their basement.
Oh.
Okay. His sister didn't like for him to bring people to their house when she wasn't home, and he was embarrassed to tell me that. Okay, I can deal with that. Times are hard. Jobs don't pay enough to cover living expenses in some places. Plus, it's their house, so I dealt with it. I was actually relieved because I was afraid there was a wife or a girlfriend at home. Maybe you should meet the sister.
Yeah, he's like a fully grown adult. You should be able to say, hey, I want to bring my girlfriend over just to hang out at the house.
He's 40.
Yeah, he's a fully grown adult with a child.
Soon after that, I got to meet his family. They were really welcoming, and his sister and I really hit it off well. His mom was a bit over the top, talking about how happy he was that he has a girlfriend, talking him up, and hugging me repeatedly. This woman acted like I was about to walk down the aisle the next minute. Things went on for about 2 more months, and I invited him to come to my town for the day. He turned me down, saying that he was more comfortable if I came to him. Mind you, I did all of the driving for our visits and dates. He hadn't come to my town at all, so it turned into a disagreement when I told him I felt like he didn't make an effort to come see me.
Yeah, that's a huge red flag. For someone to always be driving to you and making you put all of the effort in, not cool. You either got to meet halfway or switch off.
But what if you lined them up an awesome job and they come see you every week?
But you go visit Angie a lot in Orange County.
Yeah,
I feel like you go down there quite a bit.
I do.
No, I mean, it makes sense why she comes here more because she's working.
Yeah, I totally go down there more.
Not more than she comes here.
That's true.
But you still go. It seems like he's not going at all.
That's true.
And it's been 6 months.
Stressing
Oh,
out.
man.
Yeah, I go down to Orange County like twice a month, once a month.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
No, you should go more.
Really? Every weekend?
No, I feel like
If I had
it's
to
a
go
little
every
bit of-
weekend, I couldn't go to your boyfriend's party.
Well, I feel like it's a different scenario though because she's coming here and being paid. So that's like a pretty good deal,
That's
you know?
true.
Like she has a job here, so it's not just she's always coming here and you're not putting in any effort.
That's a good point.
I think you're in the clear.
So he went off on me, saying I didn't take his feelings into consideration and hung up on me. Later, he called me crying and told me that he was scared to ride in a car. He said that he was in a car accident when he was 8 and has avoided being in a car as much as possible as he can since then.
Then why did you start dating someone who lived an hour and a half away from you?
It's called walking.
And also, since he was 8? So he's never driven a car?
No, he tries to avoid it. Makes sense, but I don't know. I don't like this.
Therapy.
Yeah.
You have a kid now. You're going to have to drive your kid.
I get it. It was a trauma thing when you were 8.
You're 40 now. You got to go to therapy. You have a child.
Yeah.
Let's start working on this. You don't have to, start driving cold turkey. What's the opposite? Because I feel like cold turkey is when you give something up. Is it hot turkey? Start driving hot turkey?
It's hot beef stew.
Start driving hot. You don't have to start driving hot beef stew.
That sounds so good right now.
Ew, you'd probably cook it in a can and eat it.
Yeah, gross. Gross.
Food is food.
Some food is worse.
I'll cook you good food one day, Keon. I try to be understanding. I understood PTSD as I suffered from CPSD, but his story didn't make 100% sense to me. As he rides in the car with me, we try to stay local, and the rides were short, but still. Is he scared to go that far then?
I don't believe him.
Okay, so a couple of months go by, and he shows me a video of him riding in his friend's sports car going over 100 miles an hour on the freeway.
You little liar. You are a liar. I knew you were lying. Oh, just because it's a fancy little sports car, you've gotten over your trauma?
He was laughing, whopping, having a great time. I asked him how he could do that, but not come see me. He confessed that he was high, and I was super icked.
Don't believe him. I don't believe him.
I told him I needed a break, and I went home. And I am highly against misusing prescription meds. I really liked this guy, and I wasn't sure how I could proceed with a relationship with him, but I was willing to talk it out and see if we could be together. We talked for a while over text and decided we would start things over slowly. Over the next few weeks, he turned into a different person. My days consisted of sending the kids off to school, getting ready for work, working, getting my kids from their after-school program, going to my kids' extracurriculars, going home, cooking dinner, cleaning the house, getting ready for bed, sleeping, and repeating. That is my everyday life. Even now, if he messaged me while I was asleep, I would wake up to 40 messages accusing me of sleeping with someone else, saying he hated me, calling me a witch, then switching up saying he loved me and couldn't live without me, and begging me to ignore his other messages and message him back.
Okay, I'm sorry, OP. Immediate breakup? You've only been with him for 6 months. And he's pulling out this stuff? If anyone texted me just 40 messages saying, "You're cheating on me, blah, 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 like, I can't believe this, how could you?" while I'm sleeping, breakup. That's an immediate breakup. I'm saying that's completely unacceptable. Are you texting me? Are you texting Angie? I'm so scared for Angie. No, you're texting me. Okay, we've got 123 SEGGG C he
Can't spam you. Dang it.
FFFFF. Guff.
I was just going to try and do 40 messages. Didn't
Yeah,
work.
you couldn't even get like 20.
Anyways, have we seen a green flag at all? Kimberly
No.
Klein says, what if he did drive a car, but he did it when he was 8, and that's why he's not allowed to?
Yeah, it was so bad. He was like Tokyo drifting.
Oh my God. Kimberly, come be on the show. I would love if Kimberly Klein came on the show. You're hilarious. Okay. Anyways, a close male family friend and his girlfriend stopped by to hang out one evening, and he accused me of sleeping with him.
OP, why are we still with him? You can't come over here and talk to us and say all these things and then still be with him.
How hot is he?
Ugly. He's ugly.
Yum.
I could just feel the ugly energy radiating off of him.
On the inside or outside?
Everywhere. Ugly everywhere.
If I was out of town for work and lost service, I was accused of cheating. It was way too much, and I confronted him. I told him I didn't want to see him anymore.
Finally!
Then he messaged every guy on my Facebook, telling them he knew we were screwing, but that he was going to beat their butt. My Facebook friends is small, very small. I only send or accept friend requests from family or very close friends and keep it private. Nearly every man on my profile is a relative. This man messaged my family members with a threatening claim. He told me, "I know that you and that Jeremy guy are screwing." He admitted it. Then I told him that Jeremy had passed away 5 years ago. He said he hadn't had a clue, and I laughed so hard. Okay, why are we entertaining this?
Yeah, truly, that is so embarrassing of this guy that I've broken up with him already in this hypothetical situation, but I'm definitely breaking up with him right then because he sounds like an idiot.
I wish I could have seen the look on his face. Some of the relatives and friends I messaged were pissed. Some laughed when I told them the story. His mom messaged me one day and informed me that she would be expecting a call when I got into labor
What?
and wanted to be there for the birth. I asked, "The birth of what?"
The birth of Jesus?
She replied, "The birth of my grandchildren." I had to call this woman flabbergasted and explain that we were not dating any longer and everything he has told her was a lie. This woman thought she was getting grandbabies on the way. Oh, B. It's like the cigarettes.
Okay, well, Opie at least is no longer dating this guy.
And he's an hour and a half away, and it seems like he
Yes.
might be afraid to go see her. So
He's just, she's just still getting messages on Facebook, which is weird.
I didn't know the chaos that ensued on his end. I didn't ask. I was done with him. I told him to punt rocks because his level of crazy was far beyond anything I could handle. I blocked him on social media and hoped he would find someone else to obsess over. By the way, you can obsess over us on any of your favorite platforms. Just search up OK Storytime on your favorite podcast platform. I wasn't lucky that he made dozens of fake Facebook accounts. Dude, how do you do that? I tried to make a fake Facebook
Yeah.
account and I couldn't do it.
I am shocked. Either you might have to, unfortunately, get a new Facebook account or like deactivate your current one, or just warn all of your family and friends that this guy is crazy and has been reaching out to people. Because really wish YouTube, Facebook was doing to this guy what YouTube is doing to you guys.
That would be nice.
Get rid of his messages, please.
He would message me and my friends, get blocked, then go quiet for a few days, only to reappear with a new account. The profiles were always obvious, like Mark Sundberg or Scott Scottington. These messages were always different personas accusing me of cheating, but with the same bad grammar, insults, and accusations.
Also, you can't cheat if you're not in a relationship.
I think this guy's a pathological liar too.
Yeah,
There we
He's a
go.
pathological idiot.
I responded he would slip back into being himself in the same messages. This went on for almost daily for a year.
A year?
I
OP.
thought OP. We should have gotten rid of our Facebook like 1 month in.
Or just delete your I don't know how tied you are to your Facebook. Delete your
I'm
Facebook.
deactivating it. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gone.
Okay, so he eventually slowed the frequency of his intimidation. It's been about almost 8
8
years.
years? 8 years of this guy doing
Well,
that?
no, he slowed down. He
no,
slowed
he
down.
stopped.
I mean, but okay.
And I still get messages from his fake profiles a couple of times a year.
So he does do it. He does
OP.
do it for 8 years.
Genuinely, I am changing my Facebook account. I'm getting rid of it. I'm blocking him. I'm going private on my other account. That's new. Because this is
I don't know.
wild.
8 years of this? Hey, you know what? I'll give this guy one thing. He's got tenacity, but that's it.
I am married now to the man I met after him, Mike. He got to witness the last couple of months of steady intimidation and even became part of it. Adam would message him, talk crap, insult him, and threaten him. Mike would just laugh and tell him that when he was brave enough to make the trip, he would be waiting. I sincerely feel sorry for whatever woman is dealing with him now. That's the end of that story. Oh my gosh.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's crazy, OP.
Yeah, we let this guy trudge along with his awfulness for too long.
You
But
really
I'm
did.
glad that you broke up with him and that you have a new life away, even though he still messages you, and we should figure that out by maybe deactivating our Facebook account.
But hopefully you and Mikey Mike and the Funky Bunch will have a good time.
I think you will.
Oh my gosh, red flag.
Big ol' red flag.
We will get back to these stories.
Anyway, let's do it.
Yep.
My boyfriend said my gaming was a problem, so I chose my freedom.
Bye-bye to the boyfriend.
I'm from the UK, and I have a very, very good job for someone my age. But that means it can be very stressful. When I come home from work, I like to wind down and play maybe an hour or two on my PS4. My favorite game is Fallout 4, and I play it maybe 2 to 3 times a week. My boyfriend adored the fact that I loved games, but I don't play them as much as I'd like to. By the way, this comes from user throwaway908070x, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon,
I'm Carly.
And I'm Dakota.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments. As OP says, my boyfriend's idea of winding down after work, near the end of the week, is going to the pub. I happily go, obviously, to socialize, but I'm already done with that stage of my life where I want to go out and get wasted now. But I do enjoy a drink. But this morning, he invited me out to drinks, and I have been absolutely shattered this week, and haven't once looked at my PS4. I honestly just want to sleep tonight. He immediately jumped on the defensive and said, "You're more invested in that PS4 than me. All you ever do is sit and play with it." Which isn't true. We have an amazing / regular spicy sleep life, great circle of friends, and I do make sure communication is a thing we have, and are honest with each other. And we've been together for almost a year, and it's coming close to our anniversary. I told him that it wasn't true, and I always offer him to play it, or with me, and let him have a free reign of it. He can use it more than me sometimes, and has said, well, it isn't ladylike for girls to be playing. You're far too old to be playing it anymore. What are you, my dad?
What?
What are you, my dad?
He just called you old and was misogynistic.
What are you, my dad? You can't enjoy video games. You're a woman.
You're an old woman. You can't be playing video games. You're old and a woman.
It may sound silly, but it kind of stung. I've loved playing games since I was little. We argued over it, and he basically said that I needed to get a grip, and that he's had enough and started shouting and mocking me for it. Then threatened to leave.
Cool, bye.
Good threat.
Yeah, that's always
Cool,
the best part
bye.
of the. I'm threatening to do the thing that would be better. Don't let me leave though.
Yeah, he's like, why aren't you going out to the bars, getting wasted, and really hating your life? Rather just staying inside and playing video games. You should go out to the bars and just waste a lot of money on drinks to feel bad.
Develop a serious substance use issue. Please, be an adult.
I'm honestly not trolling. I'm just stunned. He didn't even come home after work and went straight out with her friends. Do I talk to him about it or just leave him? Am I too old for it? Am I childish Gambino for this? Relevant comments. HydroCon says, yeah, he's an a-hole. I game way more than that, and my fiancé is fine with it. We both prefer chilling at home rather than going out to unwind after a long day, though. Your boyfriend sounds like a knucklehead and is trying to manipulate you. If it was me, I'd leave him if he didn't apologize. And if he ever said something like that again. OP responds. Funnily enough, he just texted me saying, he was sorry, but you needed a dose of the truth. So he's basically said sorry, not sorry to me. I'm amazed at how much of a butt he's being. I'm definitely considering ending things. I'm trying to make a rational decision, as I'm still a little bewildered by it. User deleted says, you're playing excessively and it's encroaching on our couple time equals a reasonable complaint. You shouldn't play because you're a girl equals unreasonable complaint. Also, misogynistic and sexist. Is he a butt about you doing other unladylike activities? And there's an edit saying, and he yells and mocks you in anger? Dump him. We have an update. I think a genuine conversation should happen, but I think breaking up.
A genuine dumping conversation.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, a genuine breakup. But we have an update. Let's see what happens. And this was the next day.
No!
And wow, starts off with, we made up.
No.
Not.
Hey! No, change it to happy. It's good.
It's not. They got us. He came back home wasted at like 4 a.m., and I had a few things gathered together as I decided that I'm going to be staying at my parents' for a while and sort things out like rent, etc. Before I left for my parents, he apologized in the morning at like 10 a.m. He took the day off of work because of it, but didn't apologize for calling me out on my regular use and just telling me to quit my boy habits. I was baffled and I asked what it is that he wants from this relationship, because I was under the impression he wanted me to break up with him, and he said for me to listen to him and basically do what he says. So I told him I am listening to him and that I didn't like what I was listening to. So I told him he was being a misogynistic pig, made points of saying how often I play my PS4 and that he can use it more than me. I then rounded it up by telling him to go F himself and that we were done. Not the most gracious thing to do, but it got the message across. And by the way, my message is for you to go listen to full episodes with stories just like this one. Just go to your favorite podcast app, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left here, but congratulations, OP. You left him. You didn't deserve him. He didn't deserve you.
Wow. And he really doubled down. You can't be. You're an old woman, and you should just listen to me all the time.
Babe, playing video games is unladylike and, like, really uncouth.
You know what is ladylike, though? Listening to me all the time.
Yeah. And going to the pub.
My brain would simply turn to mush if I listened
Babe, you
to
know what
you
would
all
be
the
really
time.
hot? Is if you just drank that Guinness in, like, 0.2 seconds. I'm sitting in my old bedroom, receiving mixed messages from between, I'm sorry, baby, please come back, and stop being such a witch. You get the point. I don't need that, nor deserve it. I'm a mixture of emotions, but hey, at least I can romance McCready or dance on Fallout 4. Haha. Oh, we have some comments here. Comment number 1. Your regular use to playing games a few hours a week is destroying us. Well, off to the pub to drink like I do every day. Bye. Comment number 2. It's the fact that he had adored the fact that she liked games until he suddenly saw it as a problem. Comment 3. Every time someone uses the term ladylike, something passes away inside of me. If you use that, I know you won't contribute anything of value to the discussion. Comment 4. Ah, yes. The groveling and the demeaning will get you back your ex. Comment 5. I truly despise how ingrained the idea of gaming being a male hobby is. It was such a crap move to market it to us that way. I got a friend into gaming when we were in college 10 years ago. She was vaguely familiar because her ex was a huge Watch Dogs fan, and I really enjoy just talking to her about what she's playing now. She has since transitioned from interactive story games, Detroit, Until Dawn, to turn-based RPGs, such as Baldur's Gate 3 and my favorite, Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. Game of the years, both of them. Phenomenal games. My friend's current game is Disco Elysium. Shout out to all my gamers out there. If there's a case of if your partner or friend or whoever is playing video games 24/7 and abandoning their lifestyles and their habits and like not showering, that's one thing. That's where you need to find help and someone needs to call you out on that. But if this is your wind down of like, hey, I enjoy playing video games and like this is how I wind down to play a couple hours, maybe, I think that's totally fine. It's weird. I don't know, your boyfriend's weird, especially when he started the relationship. You're a gamer girl? That's really cool. I like that about you. To you're a gamer girl? That's unladylike. I hate that about you. So, congratulations. Now you get to play all the video games without being stressed out by a stinky, stinky man.
My roommate caught me washing her mug, and I had to lie about it.
Why did you have to lie?
Why? I, 30 male, share an apartment with my friend, 30 female. I'll call her Gwen. Gwen has a lot of mugs, more than will fit in the cupboard all at once. So she rotates them seasonally.
Okay.
She loves swapping them out. I asked why, and she says it's like getting new mugs every couple of months. But there are 2 mugs in her collection that never leave the kitchen. They are rarely in the cupboard because the second they are washed, she uses them again. By the way, this comes from user We Are Just Roomies. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give you good advice. Because we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do. So if you would do something different, put it down in the comments.
Put it down.
Put it down in the comments.
Put it right over there.
NOP says, we have a dishwasher, but it's broken. Part of our chore division is that we each take care of our own dishes. The thing is, I know she doesn't like doing her dishes. It's a sensory thing, but she insisted that we do our own dishes, and I thought that was pretty fair. I also know that Gwen's favorite is her Spider-Man mug.
Is that why you called her Gwen in this story?
I love this. You have a Spider-Man mug? I have a Spider-Man mug. I freaking love Spider-Man mug.
She has never told me this mug is her favorite. I can just tell because the Spider-Man mug gets picked before any of the others when it's clean. What the hell's going to happen to this mug, man?
You hurt her mug.
What's going to happen to this mug, man? I know this because I see it in the sink every day for her to wash before bed with her other dishes from the day. There were times that her dishes sat for a couple of days before she could force herself to work through the sensory issues and get them done. It never got to the point of smelling bad, and she apologized every time for any dishes she left overnight. I truly didn't mind when that happened. I understand the sensory issues, and I'm proud of her for keeping on top of it as much as she has. Now comes the part I need to get off my chest. The background info was important, I promise. Every time Gwen realizes she can use her Spider-Man mug, she dances an adorable happy dance while making her tea for the morning.
Wait, is this just going to be really cute?
I think this might just be really wholesome.
Is this just going to be a really
I hope
cute
so.
story?
Are you guys gonna fall in love?
She's doing an adorable happy dance.
Aww.
She doesn't seem to realize she's dancing or doesn't realize I noticed her dancing. Either way, it's my favorite part of the day when I'm getting ready for work and she dances a happy little dance while getting her breakfast because she gets to use her Spider-Man mug every single morning.
This is so sweet.
Guys,
Fall in love.
their username was We're Just Roomies.
You're gonna fall in love.
We're just
Yeah, and as the story goes
roomies.
on, his name's gonna be Peter
Yeah,
or something.
And my
but-
boyfriend was just my friend. Ugh.
It's seriously cheering her up, and she's been a lot more positive throughout the day since I started doing this. Wait, what?
Did she just think the mug was being like washed by a fairy?
Wait, oh, okay, let's keep going. This is about to get insane because you're so right. Like, what did she think? Gwen found me washing her dishes last week. I had been doing them for a while, but this was the first time she walked in and caught me bubble-handed washing her Spider-Man mug. Not gonna lie, I panicked. She thanked me for helping her and then asked why I started to do her dishes too. She even asked if I was annoyed by her dishes when she left them. This was absolutely not the case, but I couldn't tell her I watch her happy dances. That's creepy, right? But it's so cute. It makes me so happy to see her so happy.
You have love. You love.
No,
You guys
no,
like each other.
no, they're just,
You're not just
they're
roommates.
They're just roommates.
Like each other.
Yeah, and you and
Just
Keon are
roommates.
just roommates too. But I know you guys kiss.
No, no.
No.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Fighting the allegations of being in love.
No. Okay. If she knew I would watch her dance, she would feel self-conscious and stop doing them. She's pretty shy about stuff like that. She won't sing in front of anyone, but singing is one of her favorite things. Okay, Zoe Deschanel from Elf.
Okay,
really
but the
can't
mom from the end of it.
Baby, it's cold outside. Baby, I'll freeze outside. This evening is so very nice.
What is the line that she sings? He knows when I'm asleep. He knows when you're awake. Okay. I'm locking in.
Oh boy.
So, and I've caught her singing along to her music before she realizes I'm home more than she
Dude, you're
realizes.
in love with her. You're in love with her.
We're literally in love.
literally in love with her.
It sounded like something from like The Hobbit. It sounds like something that like Bilbo Baggins would have said. And I've caught her singing along to her music before she realizes I'm home more than she realizes. No, there needs to be one more realize in there for it to be Bilbo Baggins. Realize. I also pretend not to notice when that happens. She has a really pretty voice.
You're in love with her.
You like her.
You like her.
You like
just
her.
your freaking little username says we're just roommates doesn't mean it's true.
Personally, I don't think you like her. I think you're gay.
What?
I'm just trying to take his side.
It's a male roommate and a female roommate.
This whole time I thought they were both women, which is why when you said I don't think you like her, you're just gay.
You're like, wait, what are we talking about
I
right
don't
now?
get Dakota's point then.
I just said he was gay because that is the thing that is farthest away from having a crush on this girl.
Or he could be a priest.
Okay. So yeah, I couldn't tell her why I'm really doing her dishes, or I would lose my favorite part of my day. I told her I like to get mine done every night. It's something my mom always told me to do. I was already there, so it wasn't a big deal to do hers too. It saves water. And so she does a few of the household chores that I hate because she likes them, so I don't mind doing this one tiny extra chore that she doesn't like.
I know other ways you could save water. Take showers together.
I feel like I was pretty obviously not telling the truth, but I think she believed me, LOL. Liar.
You know you like her because she loves you too.
I think I summoned the voice from Dune for a second. She didn't tell me to stop, and she hasn't brought it up since she caught me. So I still get to see her happy dances when she goes into the kitchen and sees her Spider-Man mug ready for her to start the day. And there's an update.
Update. Marriage.
We already know
I proposed to her with a Spider-Man ring.
you
Marriage.
You like her. That's funny.
You like her. You want to kiss her. Ooh.
You want to kiss.
You want to kiss
You
her.
want to kiss
You really
her.
like her. What's that from?
Guys, that's kind of disrespectful. Maybe he just really likes to see his friend happy.
Maybe you just.
Or maybe he really likes
You know,
her.
why do we have to kiss our friends?
You kiss your friends all the time.
No.
No.
I kiss
No.
Just me and my friend
Just Keon.
and my girlfriend.
I imagine that in this story, it's the end of the story. It's New Year's. They're
They're at a ski
They're
lodge.
at a
direct
ski lodge.
gaze into they just
They're
they look
asked
into
to sing
camera like
karaoke
this.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. What did they even
So
sing that?
hard.
It's
I don't
New
even
No,
think
Year's.
they
that's not
sing
the
that
song they
there.
sing then.
It's
they
New Year's.
It's New Year's. It's New Year's. They're at a ski lodge. He sees her across the water. There's a
The
lake.
water?
It's frozen.
There's a lake.
They make out.
Whoa, you
After they
skipped
sing
some
their-
pages.
After they sing their karaoke duet. It's orange.
Okay, update. A couple of days ago, I made a post at 3 in the morning to confess to doing my roommate's dishes because I secretly love to watch her do a happy dance when she sees her favorite mug is clean for her to use again. That post changed our lives.
Yes!
You're married?
You're married?
And I'm only being a little dramatic by saying that. I'm still shook at just how many people read about me and my mug's happy best friend. The number of people saying my post made them smile or reminded them of their own friendships or significant others has kept me smiling for days. I'm kind of into making people happy, if that wasn't already obvious. So the fact that so many people had even a moment of positiveness because of me has been awesome.
Okay.
Dude, buddy, you're Pim from Smiling Friends. That's crazy.
Oh. What happens next?
When I made that original post, it was because I just wanted to tell someone about the mug dancing, but I knew Gwen wouldn't like it if I told anyone we knew, so I came to Reddit to shout to the void, and oh boy, did the void shout back.
What happens next?
It sounded like, oh, you like her?
Smithers, please tell me what happens next.
There was so many comments asking if I really thought we were just friends. And I'll be honest, when I made my post, we absolutely were just friends.
No, you weren't. You just thought you were.
We had never talked about being more than friends, and I was happy being friends
I
because
know.
we have an amazing friendship.
I've been there.
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about there being a possibility for more because dating was always something I planned to do when I had my life together or when I had more money.
No time like the present.
I never let myself consider what I was missing out on by waiting for the right time. Her finding my post opened up the chance for Gwen and I to talk about things that we hadn't before. And over breakfast that morning, we found where we stood with each other and what we thought things could look like moving forward, depending on what we both agreed was the best course. That's such a roundabout way of being like, we sat down and I was like, I like you. I think I like you.
I like you too,
You
but we
like
live
me?
together. How should we work that out?
I like you too.
Kiss? Should we kiss?
We didn't make any solid plans or decisions and didn't want to rush into something that would ruin the good we already had going for us. But I'll admit I was hoping for a specific outcome. There was one comment on that first post that had really caught my attention. To paraphrase, they told me to think about how I would feel if someone else got to see Gwen do her happy mug dance instead of me, and it hit me so hard. I didn't mind the idea of someone else seeing her so happy. I just don't know if anyone she dates would notice what I did and decide to do what I did. Well, they certainly would if that person was you.
What is your hand
Just gonna go grab you guys and smash it together like
Until
two
you
pieces
kiss.
of Play-Doh.
Okay. Hope he continues. What if they didn't care or didn't think it was that important or any of the other things I do to make her laugh or smile? I really didn't like the thought of not being there to make sure she has that extra reason to smile in the morning. Gwen wants me to admit that I'm a sappy moron because I teared up writing this. I'm a sensitive man in touch with my emotions, and you know you love it, so shut up, bro.
This is though.
I know, but I said bro. To all the people saying it's possible for platonic relationships to be like ours, you
Shut
are
up.
absolutely correct.
Yeah, but shut up.
You said
Yeah, sure, but shut up.
Not in this
Shut
case.
up, man.
Not right now.
In this case, you're falling in love, you're getting
You're
married.
enough, and you're gonna get married. You're gonna have babies, unless you don't want children. You could have a dog. Unless you're allergic, you could have a cat. Unless you're allergic, you could have a turtle. I don't think anyone's allergic to turtles.
You're allergic, you can have a fish.
Our group is very open with physical and verbal affection, and we help each other all the time with big and small things. We all say I love you to each other. It's just normal communication for us as a group, not just between Gwen and me. Honestly, if I hadn't made my original post, I'm not sure when or if we would have gotten to the point we are now. Maybe we would have continued as we were, and that would have been just as happy with an outcome, just a different one, like choosing your own adventure with multiple options for a good resolution. And by the way, you have a stupid amount of options of full episodes with stories just like this to listen to on your favorite podcast platform. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime. And you've got basically like the never-ending waterfall of stories. How are we feeling, Sophia?
I love.
I don't think they're in love, though. They're just roomies.
They're in love.
Platonically in love.
They're in love.
They love each other so platonically.
They're in love.
What does her dance look like, you think? I don't know. It seems pretty subdued. Yeah, okay, that's
I think she
probably
does a little happy dance.
that's probably a little closer.
While she makes her tea, she does a little like.
I feel like she does Keon's thing where he does
She goes
shuffles
feet.
around on his legs.
Yeah.
Circling back though,
Yeah.
what did she think was happening to her mug every night?
I think she knew it was being
Yeah, maybe
clean.
she was just like, "Oh, like,
eh.
You don't have to clean my mugs, you know."
Clean her mug, and she will hug you. Plug. This brings me to the actual update. Gwen and I agreed that we want to try dating.
Just roomies my butt.
Change your username, OP.
Change your freaking
Yeah,
username. You're
We're
not
just roomies, I swear.
Roomies in love.
We aren't putting a new label on our relationship yet, but our first date is next week. I'm making it all a surprise. Gwen helped write this post and will be reading the comments, so I can't give any details. But it's going to be the best first date she's ever been on, or I'll eat my candy corn patterned socks.
Candy corn buttons.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Not the gumdrop button.
I think she might be the one for me, and I'm going to take every chance I can to make sure she thinks the same about me. Y'all are the best, and we love you. Do something kind for your loved ones for us, and everyone can and should find something to happy dance about. It makes life more fun. Love, Gwen and Peter.
You made yourself Spider-Man. Don't
I
see it.
knew he was gonna be Peter.
You think I didn't see that? You made yourself Spider-Man.
You listen
Yeah,
close. This cannot end how Gwen and Peter
No.
ended.
No.
Listen close, no rooftops.
No. Don't grab her.
Funny thing about that, even if she didn't whap, smack the ground,
No, he broke her
still
back.
got just
That's-
brutal.
that's
Why
you
I said
gotta-
avoid the rooftops.
Yeah, she didn't
No, she-
smack the ground.
in
She
the,
doesn't hit the ground.
yeah, she
In the
does.
movie, she didn't hit the ground.
She cracks her back.
Everything that I have, praise the Lord.
What?
I know for a fact she slams her head. So, yes.
She gets no in the movie. Her back. She like breaks her back because she's attached to the web.
But she also head slams.
I think that's just her head jolting.
I think that's
from
just
the
her
back.
head going like. It's just the whiplash. She doesn't
Hit
the
me,
floor.
folks.
She
Hit me.
literally doesn't hit the floor.
Okay, I think we might actually be in a both right situation. I think her back does break from the force, but she
Yeah.
also, her head hits the ground.
I think ultimately though
Her
she
head
is,
hit the
she is
wall.
passing from the crack.
Yeah, she's passing from-
We agree with you that it's not because she hit the ground.
She did not hit the ground.
Also, yeah, oops, spoilers. Whatever.
That is like 5 Spider-Mans ago.
It's 500 million years ago.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, she smacks her head at 1,000 miles an hour.
Let me freaking see. Yeah, her
She's
head
gone.
hits the floor, but none of her rest of her body hits the floor. And we were both right.
Honestly, after watching that, now I don't know.
No,
I think I might be the only right one now.
I
I
thought
think
that
she dies from
she dies.
the spinal things. Top 2 comments on this one that I found though. But how does she actually pass? How did she pass? She never hits the ground. I still don't understand how she
What?
passes.
Bro, she literally
What?
hits.
Her
That's
spinal.
they don't even in boxing and UFC. You're not allowed to punch the back of the head because that will, ding dong, you're gone.
Alrighty, let's get into this next story.
My ex-husband chose his affair over our family. Then karma hit hard.
Karma, it's got big old boxing gloves.
As I'm in a healing era and think about all the complete BS I lived through with my ex to get here, I am genuinely curious to hear the amazing karma stories your cheaters and affair partners have gotten to be a part of. By the way, this comes from Northern Superbloom, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah,
And I'm Dakota.
and we are here to give some good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We would only know what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, my ex cheated for years, impregnated a fair partner, when we had a newborn. She is married as well. Yikes.
I just never liked the use of the word impregnated.
Yeah, it just sounds really nasty. Now they're playing the sneaky game, but no one cares anymore. My ex wanted the younger version of his mom and got it. Oh, what? No. Joke's on him. His mom has pretty much given up on him and his grandkids and is selfish to her core. I am having fun seeing this unfold. Update already.
Lock in.
It's been 4 months since I served papers and moved 8 hours away from my soon-to-be ex. I try and give grace for the sake of my kids as he comes and sees them once a month or so. He is here currently to take our older kid from him for 2 weeks. Can't handle both, so he's leaving the little one with me. I'm secretly thankful because I would not be okay with both of them leaving. He is still delusional about his affair, his ongoing relationship with the fair partner, the potential of her baby being his, and that he ruined 2 whole families with his affair. I mean...
Yeah, and he's just walking around like, everything's coming up roses for me.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I don't know, just have a second to think of the outcome. Like, think before you do.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Everything's great. My new affair partner is pregnant. Could be mine. Well, who knows? Everything's awesome.
I also may have ruined 2 whole families.
No, I didn't. Moving on.
He comes at me with the, they don't have to grow up in a broken home. And I am in disbelief. He made plans to see her daily. He told her he loved her baby so much as we had 2 little ones. He brought her into our home to have spicy sleep on our couch our kids used to watch cartoons on. Ow, no! Ew. Not the cartoon couch. Please. He lied and cheated and trampled me as a human, but it made me grow stronger and better, and I made the hard decision and left. Now he thinks I owe him something and that I play games. I am cordial, friendly enough around the kids, and have never caused drama outside of serving them both papers and leaving so they can live their fantasy. How do I protect myself from a self-absorbed person on this level? I'm fine emotionally and mentally, rally for the most part, but when he comes at me with that anger in his eyes and the you're at fault BS, I get so mad and I want to explain the torture he put this family through again, but I know it is not needed and it's his power play. I am genuinely positive about my future and finding, or not, the right person for me and thriving with my kids. And there are some comments.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even entertain him. He wants to get all mad and tell you it's your fault. I would just not even respond.
Yeah. I'd be like,
I would just pull out the recorder and I would just record what he's saying.
Yeah.
Be like, the judge can hear this. This is great.
I'd be like, right, I cheated. Right, it was me. Oh, yeah, I ruined the family. Oh, yeah, I'm the one who brought someone into our home. Oh, yeah, it was me. Oh, wait, actually, it's you! Comments. By having an ironclad custody agreement and divorce that favors you. Being there are questions about his wandering wee-wee. It is essential that a parenting plan and money associated with that is drawn up with the law in your land. If Cheater Pants, in fact, has another child, you can be clear that the side piece will want some funds to raise that responsibility. You make sure you are front and center legally when that situation self-destructs. You do realize that situation is a ticking time bomb, right? And you keep in my mind, anytime your ex-partner is moving his mouth, that he is lying. Add to your list to involve your children in age-appropriate discussions about what has happened and an option for therapy for them as well. This is the collateral damage that cheaters do not even glance at as they skip off into the sunset to pursue their next victim. There are 2 avenues here: your personal mental health and the principle of parallel parenting. One is the short game, the other is the long game. For now, your future partnerships, dating, and future friendships will have to take a back seat as you have just walked out of a catastrophic burning building with smoky clothes and open wounds. You seek out a new direction on your own, new environment, new habits, new you. And you get professional help with that. Dedicated therapy that deals with trauma and dealing with individuals who have personality disorders. There is a second update.
This is a guy. There's good advice from that comment.
Yeah. Now you know what to do. Legally. Update number 2. I'm about 6.5 months out from serving papers to my soon-to-be ex and his affair partner. I moved states with my kids. I have a full-time job. Am in great shape mentally, getting there physically too, with the pep in my step now. And for the most part, I feel content and happy, especially after 10 years with someone who lied and cheated for years during that time. It's refreshing not to be constantly paranoid or hypervigilant and just be able to live my own life. I'm nearing 40. I've got 2 little kids, and I'm their sole custody and childcare provider. With an odd 4 to 6 weeks, their dad has the chance to get them. I'd love to start thinking about dating, but just the thought itself feels absolutely mental to me. I haven't been in the dating game in over 10 years. The idea of getting to know someone again, letting them know me, feeling comfortable with that, and now having kids in the mix, it just gets so discouraging. Honestly, it's exhausting to even think about, never mind actually dating. So I'd love to hear some hopeful stories, messages, or thoughts around dating as a single parent, especially after going through major infidelity and all that healing that comes with it. I do absolutely agree with healing first before dating anyone. But my fear is that even when I feel fully ready, the thought of it being so exhausting will hold me back. And there's a third update.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Time.
Yeah, time
That
heals.
would be my time.
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 Time heals things.
That's the saying.
Exactly
That's
that.
exactly the saying. Time heals things.
Boom. Update number 3. I served papers in February, almost 7 months ago to date. I moved states with my kids, started a new full-time job, and started healing from the 10 years of self-absorbed behavior I was shown. I'm from Europe. All my safety network is still there, and my only reason living here was because of my soon-to-be ex. I have 2 little kids now that keep me here, and honestly, not an issue. I do feel lonely in the daily chaos and decisions that need to be made, but it beats what I went through to be with someone. So what I realized as I look back on the past years and months, I found out about the cheating the first go around in 2022. I was hit very, very hard by it. I worked so dang hard to stay and fight for our family. I grew stronger and matured in ways I never thought possible. It was the hardest year of my life trying to get through the shock and anxiety attacks. I saw red flags and inappropriate exchanges for years after and always promised myself I'd get smarter. Not just stronger and not confront him. But each time I thought honesty must be somewhere in his system and he'd come clean or at least explain himself. Never happened. But this January, something deep in me clicked. I saw an exchange, got smart, played it cool, saddled up a lawyer, got a PI, and went to work for weeks, getting shocking things from my team as I played it cool and envisioned my freedom. Once I had enough to be able to get what I wanted, the kids and moving us far away from that twisted triangle he made me unknowingly a part of, I served both him and a fair partner and watched it crumble as I was finally allowed to breathe. I then packed up what personal things I wanted, drove 19 hours to our new home, got an apartment, started my new role, was promoted in my new role, got my kid into a new pre-K and then kindergarten, found a daycare, handled pickups and drop-offs and after school and sicknesses and decisions for the future, and at no point have I regretted it.
Yay! Living a full life without our terrible partner. Yay!
Woo! Should I have left earlier? Probably. But I probably wouldn't have felt as disconnected and easily over it because I would have still wondered if I personally did enough. I now have no such thoughts and enjoy the hardness of being a single parent with gratitude I never truly have felt before on such a level. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like these. Go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime. So a little bit left.
Yeah, let's just see how this person is
Yeah.
crushing their new life.
Yeah,
The
do it.
perfect example. Sometimes you lose something, you gain something.
True. I'm flourishing, and my kids see it. They flourish with me as we go through this new start and get further away from it all. I still have to wait 5 months to file the divorce, old state rules. But I have more than enough after leaving to show everything I need to make sure the newfound peace isn't disturbed by my soon-to-be ex. This is all to say to not sell yourself short. If you left, you did a very hard thing and are a total superstar for it. If you stayed, if that's what you need to be able to move forward, do that. But please look in the mirror and acknowledge your worth and say thanks to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been
That's
funny.
good.
Just like, and if you stayed, you are missing out. Oh man, you made the wrong decision.
Look at all this happiness I have, and you just completely just looked the other way. My boyfriend promised to protect my secret, but he didn't.
Hey, that's mine. I told you.
And there is a trigger warning here for mentions of SA. I, 24 female, have been dating Mark, 23 male, for about a month at this point, but we knew each other for 3 years through mutual friend groups. By the way, this comes from Throw RA. I need some. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Angie.
And we are here to give some good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, so I had a friend, Brad, male 22, that I'd known through primary school, and we ended up going to the same high school and university. Brad and I had never had any romantic feelings towards each other, and I truly saw him like a brother. Mark knew about Brad, and they were friends too. Anyways, one night before Mark and I had become exclusive, Brad and I were hanging out after a class at his house, and we decided to have some drinks and watch a movie with his roommate. I don't actually remember how much I drank, but I was pretty hammered by the end of the night. I don't remember what happened completely, but Brad and I ended up having spicy sleep.
Oh no.
Well, that's a choice. That's a choice, Sophie.
Oh man.
Even if you don't remember that choice,
Yeah.
that is a choice. Brad and I had a massive argument, and I called Mark, who came straight away to pick me up.
Oh.
Mark and Brad ended up getting into a massive fight, which ended up in the cops getting called.
Oh my gosh.
What?
This story went from 0 to 100 fast.
Like in 2 sentences.
Yeah.
What?
This is quite the summary of
Wow.
what happened.
After that, I cut all contact with Brad, and we haven't spoken to him since. I haven't told anyone about the incident, only Mark, and I asked him not to talk about it with anyone until I was ready. He completely agreed. Mark and I began dating about 4 months after the incident, but the whole situation had left me so shaken up that I haven't been able to be intimate with him, which he says he completely understands.
Oh.
He's been so supportive. So, to the situation, I was talking to Mark's older sister yesterday when she asked if Mark and I had solved out intimacy issues yet. I got quite embarrassed as the question came out of nowhere, but I told her that we were working on it slowly. Then she asked, is it because of what happened with your old friend? This caught me so off guard because only Mark knows about the situation. I asked how she knew about it, and she confessed that Mark had told her. I asked her when he told her, and she said the night it happened.
Oh, like, okay.
Well, maybe I don't know. Did you have the talk before he said something or
Right.
after he said,
Was this just like perfect timing of in between the argument
yeah.
and then the conversation about not telling anyone? But I guess if it would have happened before you decided not to tell anyone, that would probably be a good time for him to say, okay, just letting you know, I did already do that.
yeah, that's true.
you
Yeah.
know?
Well, but then that's hard because I feel like she just shouldn't have brought it up, like the girl, but also he should have said something. I wouldn't have said something because I would have been like,
Yeah.
never gonna get back. But that's me because
Right.
I'm stupid like that.
No, but I'm raising some eyebrows here.
Me
I've
too.
got more questions.
I asked who else knew, and she replied, my whole family.
Bro.
Oh. He was asking for advice. I began having a full-blown panic attack and left. He's been calling and texting a bunch after his sister told me, and I've told him to leave me alone for now. My trust has been completely broken, and at this very moment, I don't know if I can trust Mark. My question is, how do I possibly move on from this situation and build trust with Mark? Is it worth salvaging this relationship, or would it be in my best interest to let go? How do I even go about communicating with his family after this? And there are some comments. What do you think? I think that was a bomb dropped, honestly.
That really was. I need to know more information. I need to know if the parents know. I need to know how he went about these conversations, because I could see it going a couple ways of like, I just got into a fight with someone, cops were called, I don't know what to do, family. I could understand talking to the parents about that. But if she brought up intimacy issues that happened after the incident of like that, you know, she's less comfortable having spicy sleep with him, like that is something more personal. That also would have happened after their conversation about not telling anyone.
That's true, because it's not like that happened that night. This is like an ongoing, like for months type of thing. So he's been talking about it, but maybe she just like put the pieces together on that night. I don't know.
It's complicated.
Yeah, no, it truly is. Comment number 1. This is one of those things where neither of you is wrong initially, and I'm so sorry about what happened to you. He wasn't gossiping after the fact. The poor guy had no idea what the F to do and went to who's closest, who he could trust, to ask for help. Sounds like he hasn't told anyone since. You're allowed to be upset that others know, but I don't see this particular incident as a violation of trust. However, if he continued talking about it and sharing intimate details of your guy's life that you weren't comfortable sharing, that's not okay. The sister is a frickin' pee-pee head and a creep here, though. Why on earth would she want to know about her brother's spicy sleep life? That's bizarre. If you want, you need to communicate exactly why you feel the way you do and what you need from him going forward. If you can't meet those needs, the relationship is over. Also, may I suggest therapy individually for both of you? OP replies, I will admit that I had such a one-track mind about the situation that I didn't see it from Mark's perspective. I'm not sure if he talked to his family about the situation much, as I haven't spoken to him since his sister told me. I just need space at the moment to process. His sister has never acted like this before, so I have no idea where this came from. We're not even close enough to talk about subjects like this, so it caught me way off guard. Comment number 2 says, why would his sister ask you about anything intimate with her brother? Like, I'd never even asked my sister-in-law about that. OP replied, I don't really know. The question really came out of nowhere, which was why I was caught off guard. There is an update.
Oh, wow. I see what the comments are saying about, like, why would she want to know about her brother's intimacy issues or whatever. But, like, yeah, again, maybe that's just kind of they're more comfortable with that. Maybe they didn't talk about that many details. But it is definitely weird that she would talk to OP about it.
Yes.
Because, like, I could see her doing that if they were closer and if they had more of, like, a sister vibe. Like,
yeah,
I could see you wanting to kind of have that, or maybe trying to build that sister bond where you can, like, talk about more things like that that are, like, a little harder to talk to people about, you know? But if you don't already have that and you're asking about issues that are going on, not even just, like, being able to share some details, that's just, like, that's a pretty vulnerable thing already, and issues with it is, like, even more vulnerable. So,
like, if I don't bring it up,
we
probably shouldn't talk about it.
Right.
Especially, like, that personal a story to tell.
OP would totally have to be the one to talk about it.
Be like, can I talk to you about something? Like, that's how you start that conversation.
Yeah.
Not, hey, so I heard a few things.
Right.
How's that going?
Like if anything, she would ask the brother about it if things have improved, you know? Like, I don't know, man. That's weird for her to do.
I think that's very weird. I've never asked my sister-in-law about my brother in bed. Never have I ever wanted to know.
Right.
And I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
We do have an update. This is much more attention than I was expecting. Thank you so much for all the helpful responses and advice I've received. It has helped me see another perspective. I just wanted to answer a question about when Mark and I had the conversation. Mark and I had the conversation about him keeping the situation between us immediately after he had dropped me home after the incident. We had a long private conversation and I opened up about exactly how I felt. He promised that he wouldn't tell anyone and I believed him wholeheartedly. Regarding Mark's sister, we aren't close. We talk, but we aren't at a point where I'd open up to her about my issues. I was also seeing a therapist after the incident had happened. However, they made me feel judged and I was no longer comfortable seeing them.
Ugh.
Wow.
That's so terrible.
I'm currently looking for a therapist that I can mesh well with. Regarding Brad's level of intoxication, from when I remember, he had a few beers. His roommate and I were taking shots. Brad was always a heavyweight when it came to booze, and I don't have a high booze tolerance. I can't be certain on how sober Brad was, as I'm not him. And there's a second update. Mark and I spoke about a week after I found out he told his family. I had been super busy with university and work, so I was mainly focused on that. He sent me a message sometime on Sunday and asked to meet at a park, as I was not comfortable facing his family at the time. We met up, and he basically explained that the night he got into the fight with Brad, he was so scared of being arrested and called his parents for advice about what to do. See,
Yeah.
that
Makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Why? So I don't think that him calling his family about the situation that was very serious for him and
Mhm.
obviously very serious for her, but in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, I don't want to get arrested. And
Right.
she's like, I don't want to get violated. You know,
Right,
like
right.
there's
Yeah.
there's two different problems happening here. And he's like,
totally.
I need advice, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna put more on you.
Right.
You know, you just went through this whole thing, and now it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Like, let's talk about me for a second. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I
could-
completely understand where he's coming from,
Yeah.
but I don't like the intimacy talk with the family.
Yeah, that still stands.
He didn't mention the situation to his sister, but after prying, he found out that she overheard it.
Oh.
Okay. She refused to tell him how long she's known, but our guess is the night of. I then asked about if he was talking about our intimacy issues with his sister. He adamantly denied, stating that he's never talked to anyone about it. I asked how she knew, and he was lost for words. I decided to call his sister with Mark there. His sister and I are friendly, but we don't have a close relationship. Anyways, she picked up after the second ring, and I asked her if Mark had spoken to her about our intimacy issues. She said he hadn't, so I asked how she found out. She replied that she just assumed. What? That day, she brought up intimacy randomly, and my reaction confirmed what she was assuming. She apologized and said she mentioned Mark's name because she wanted us to break up.
What? What?
Wait, this is a whole nother level to the story.
Oh my gosh. Sister, what are you doing?
She said how he deserved better and that he shouldn't have to put up with a whiny witch who won't kiss him at events. Wow, she's really just going for it now. She's like, well, the blinds are open. I might as well, you know.
Is that the only reason? Like, is that, well, you guys don't kiss, so something's off. Like,
You guys don't kiss at events. I've never seen you share intimate things with each other.
right. And I need PDA to know that you guys are in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, what? That's weird.
Yeah.
Mark became angry and yelled at her, so she hung up. Mark apologized for what his sister said and said he had no idea she was harboring those thoughts. I honestly just wanted to ignore his sister. We weren't close anyways. He then apologized for telling his parents and not telling me he told them. I kind of understand why he did it, which is why we're trying to work through this. I asked if he could do a therapy session with me, and he agreed straight away. Oh, good.
That's good.
By the way, you can go straight away to more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just type in OK Story Time. There's a
Boom.
little bit left. You just want to get into it?
Let's get right into it. I need to know more about why the sister wants them to break
Yeah.
up.
This is juicy.
Juicy.
I like this one. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention, I found a therapist that I meshed really well with.
Yay.
Yay, we love that. We've had 3 sessions so far, and she's been so kind and understanding of my situation. I feel completely comfortable talking with her, and we're slowly working on some issues. Mark and I have also slowly been working on our intimacy issue. We cuddle and kiss way more, and I feel more comfortable with him. We had a family conversation with his parents, and I explained my feelings about the whole situation. The situation has made me much closer to Mark and his parents, but I'm very cautious around his sister. She also avoids me, so it's meh. Mark has also been limiting how much he talks to her, which has really affected her. She ended up sending me a message apologizing about what she said. Oh, and that's all.
Oh.
What?
Wow, really?
That just ended.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So we've got a therapist we like. We feel more comfortable being intimate with Mark.
Talk to
And,
the parents.
Yeah, talk to the parents. Sister
Sister apologized.
apologized.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty concise summary and resolution there, I guess.
Yeah, the story's wrapping up quite nicely.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped.
Cool.
So hopefully,
Okay.
OP, it seems like things are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I hope they continue to go in the right direction. I do hope, like, maybe, you know, you can sit down and have a conversation with the sister and just be
Mhm.
like, listen, what did I do to you? You know,
Right.
like, I don't understand. Do you want to date your brother? Because that's weird.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't know. But I think you're on the right track. You're doing well. And everything seems to be going your way. So
Cool.
I'm glad, OP.
My manager ruined my career, so I disappeared.
Get out of there, girl.
My manager has always been difficult to deal with. She nitpicks everything. She doesn't like the inflection and tone of my voice when giving presentations, even though the presentations themselves are fine. She criticized my decision to skip optional happy hours during offsites. She needs to read every email I send to her boss and will change things like have a good week to have a good day. By the way, this comes from CamelZ4. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says she constantly oversteps her role and wants me to take the blame when it blows up. She'll give me projects where the business partner has specifically told us they don't find value in our partnership, and she forces me to continue anyway. Recently, she got a new boss, Manager 2, who is someone I'd worked indirectly under in the past. Manager 2 is somehow even worse.
No.
I won't go into details, but as an example, Manager 2 put a previous manager of mine in the hospital from stress.
Oh my gosh.
Once my previous manager returned from medical leave, Manager 2 forced her to resign.
This all feels so illegal.
Is a 100%. When I found out Manager 2 was becoming my manager's new manager, I had a conversation with my manager about furthering my career in other roles. As a note, my company sends managers notifications whenever you apply to an internal role, so I needed to have this discussion with her. Since that point, she's been speed running my termination. I went from a positive mid-year review to being put on a coaching plan within a month. All the examples of my poor performance were collected immediately following the conversation about furthering my career. The examples were things like being unavailable because I had a doctor's appointment, missing a deadline because I was out sick, and other general nonsense that's purely subjective and incredibly difficult to prove, like not doing what's best for our clients.
So vague.
She delivered the coaching plan, which is essentially a precursor to a PIP, which is a performance improvement plan, a week after I applied to a new role. Then 3 weeks went by where she made no mention of my performance or the coaching plan. The hiring manager for the role I applied to reached out to her about my interest, and surprise, surprise, 3 days later, she let me know I was still not meeting performance expectations and planned to put me on a PIP, which would restrict me from accepting the role. The kicker is that because she's been out of the office a lot recently, she's logistically only given me 8 business days to show improvement from when the coaching plan was delivered to threatening the PIP. Our company doesn't have specific guidelines for the performance management process, but the whole thing typically takes about a year. Mine has taken less than a month. The double kicker is that after she let me know I was going to be put on a PIP, I called my former coworker who was laid off to get his opinion. She did the same thing to him. Right down to the same language and tactics to manage him out. Only she got lucky that we were doing layoffs around that time and could recommend his name without having to go through the formal firing process. I've accepted she's going to fire me as soon as she feasibly can, and I can't go over her head because Manager 2 is probably frothing at the mouth over this. But honestly, she can win this one. I can escape her, but she'll always be trapped with herself.
Whoa.
Okay. We have a comment. Oh, wow. I know what you're going through. It angers me so much that people can get away with this every day in corporate America. What a miserable place to work. It's not worth it. It's just not. Those managers make it miserable to work because they're so insecure and miserable that they have to constantly deflect and manipulate the situation. How sad to be like those managers. Sad, pathetic way to live. We have an update.
Oh my gosh.
But
This kind of feels like a king that's, executing all of their like
yeah,
subjects.
their whole court and everything.
Right. And it's like, well, you're going to have no one to rule after
Right.
all of this.
What
Like,
happens when you fired the whole company?
yeah, and just like getting rid of them for stupid or like no reason at all.
Because you don't like how I sound when I give presentations.
Yeah, like such silly little things that you're doing.
Yeah.
No actual like proper feedback. That's so ridiculous.
Ugh. Update. Well, she did it. I predicted that the hiring manager of the new internal job I applied for would call her up as a courtesy before extending an offer to me, and she'd put him on hold, submit the PIP, and then tell him I actually couldn't accept because I was no longer in good standing with the company. And that's exactly what happened.
Whoa.
That's crazy. That is some like disgusting roundabout ways to be
Yeah.
like, no, you can't take this job. Like
Right.
in the phone call,
Yeah.
you're doing that.
My goodness.
He contacted her to extend an offer. She bashed me to the point where the hiring manager set up a meeting with me to tell me what she said. And then 2 days after their phone call, she put me on a PIP. I'm stuck on her team. Which also, why does she want you on her team? She doesn't like you.
Right.
I'm not eligible to receive our end-year bonus, which is a huge part of our total compensation. I'm not eligible to go on my sabbatical.
Oh my gosh.
She's the devil in a skin suit. Her reason for escalating to a PIP was that one time I had to reschedule a one-on-one with her because I was actively dealing with a time-sensitive work emergency. Yes, she was aware of the situation, and I even provided her proof I was on the phone with someone else during our meeting because I knew she would try to use that against me. But of course, she spun the narrative to constitute it as avoiding coaching. When she delivered the PIP, I brought up that I had been speaking to HR and employment attorneys because her behavior constitutes intimidation and she's now financially harming me. She immediately backed down and offered to talk to the hiring manager to smooth things over. Figures she has no spine. We have a comment.
Oh boy.
That's awful. I hope you end up being able to leave her team. It's very telling that she did all of this the moment she found out you were trying to leave. I also hope you talking to an employment attorney helps because this seems like a clear-cut case of retaliation to me. I'm not a lawyer though. Update 2. The
Oh boy.
final update.
Oh boy. I'm so nervous.
I know. What
But-
do you think happened?
Oh gosh. I mean, what I hope happens.
Yeah.
So she talks to like some higher ups and they're like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
You're right. Here's your bonus. Here's the sabbatical.
You're taking off your PIP.
Yeah, exactly. Like I hope everything is undone, but I feel like it might not go down that way.
Yeah. I need this boss to be as cool as the boss from the last story.
Me too.
Update 2, a final update to well, she did it. My raging, self-absorbed manager was speed running to terminate me, advancing from first warning ever to PIP in about 10 business days over ridiculous things like taking 7 minutes to reply to her chats. I was in the middle of applying for another job internally, and just as I suspected, she blocked me from accepting the role by putting me on the PIP immediately after the hiring manager courtesy called her to let her know he wanted to hire me. After some words, she offered to make things right with the hiring manager because I threatened to further escalate with HR and employment attorneys. The next day, like the spineless jellyfish she is, she chatted me to let me know she talked to her boss and the PIP would be upheld because your role is your primary responsibility before you move on to something else, right? You mean the role I was doing exceptionally well in until you got wind I wanted to move to something else? Doesn't seem like you're giving me a chance to excel in it when you have me rewrite the same email 13 times because it never meets your illusory approval. I realized I was trapped and had come to a fork in the road. Try to fight the PIP and probably be fired in a week's time, or let her have what she was asking for. If you want me gone, fine, but not on your terms. Thankfully, I had been talking to a psychiatrist about the scenario because it was taking such a toll on my mental health. After I got the chat about the PIP being upheld, I emailed my psychiatrist and asked if she would approve a short-term disability leave for mental health. She said yes, with flying colors. I immediately emailed my boss. I will be going on short-term disability leave, effective immediately. My return date is unknown. I slammed my laptop shut, blocked her phone number, and never heard from her again. I have been on paid and unpaid leave for about 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
And by the way, you can listen to months worth of episodes with full stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. We've got a little bit left.
I first of all think that it kind of sucks that some of that is unpaid. I'm glad
Right.
some of it is paid,
Yeah.
but I would hope that all of it was. But I feel like if I was above this manager, I would see this and be like, yo,
What the heck?
Why is she going on this sabbatical? What did you do?
Right.
But I digress.
But also great quick thinking.
Yeah.
To go like straight to your psychiatrist with that.
Yeah, honestly.
We got a little bit more. Of course, a lot of that 6 months was dedicated to unraveling the mess that came with all of this, a PTSD diagnosis, and battling some very dark thoughts. But I'm happy to say that during that time, I was able to leverage my network and get 2 job offers, one of which I accepted. I'll be getting a nice pay bump and a fully remote opportunity. Unsurprisingly, I emailed her my resignation and she never replied. I haven't started my new job yet, but my future boss sent me an amazing little care package after I accepted the role, so I'm hoping she will be a total 180 from the last one. To everyone struggling with something similar, do not put your mental health in jeopardy over these worthless nutballs. It's not worth it. No job is worth permanently damaging your self-esteem and mental health. That is the end of that story.
I wronged a classmate as a teen, and my karma came years later.
This is like the worst kind of revenge to get.
I was an a-hole in high school. I really was, and there is no way to sugarcoat it. I was mean and nasty, and yes, I had my reasons and the psychology behind it, but I don't want to detract from my actions, so I will not list them here. By the way, this comes from Big Advisor 4778, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. There was a girl in my class, Beth, 15 female, when this incident happened. Also 26 female now, like me. I did not regularly target her, but one particularly memorable time I made a loud, over-the-shoulder, indirect comment about her trying and failing to cover up her BO with even more foul-smelling perfume or some 15-year-old version of a hot diss like that. I know it was probably incredibly hurtful as I had intended it to be. During college, I was finally able to go to therapy and begin sorting out my issues that led to me acting like such an unbearable a-hole all the time. After a lot of work, I reached out to everyone I could find on social media that I bullied and sent sincere apologies and gift cards based on things I knew they liked in high school. My message basically said, I cannot take it back, but please know I am sorry, and if you ever want to talk, even if it is to have me hear the ways I negatively affected you, I am available. Beth received one of these messages and responded by saying she did not want to rehash the past, but appreciated me reaching out. Fast forward post-college, I moved to a new city and finally start to make a friend through work, Clara. Clara invites me out to drinks with her friend group and I accept. I show up to the bar, Clara brings me over to the table and guess who's sitting there? Beth. I think I did a full double take because she had changed a lot, but I was nearly 100% sure it was her. I was immediately sweating. I genuinely think I blacked out from anxiety and guilt. The only thing I remember is Beth got introduced to me with, Beth, this is Anna. She asked Anna. And I think she blacked out writing this part too.
Probably. Yeah.
I think she's trying to say when she got introduced to Beth, Beth was like, oh, is this Anna? And OP's friend was like, yeah, this is OP, Anna. My friend said yes because I was mute. Beth said, nice to meet you, or something like that. Like she had not properly heard or did not recognize me. And I was shocked. I assumed she did not recognize me, then wondered if I maybe was wrong and it was not actually her. What followed was an agonizing debate on whether or not I should mention to her afterwards that if she went to X high school, then I am the same Anna that was such a witch to her. She knows. I genuinely do not recall much else from that night because of the intense anxiety, but I must have done okay. Or Clara took pity on me because she invited me to hang out again. I mentioned to Clara that I felt uncomfortable joining them again because I thought I knew someone from the group from high school and I wasn't nice to them. I didn't go into detail but made it very clear that it was not a mutual rivalry or anything like that I was the antagonist. Based off the awkward introduction, I was pretty sure she would know I was talking about Beth. Clara said something to the effect of, "That was years ago. We're all adults now. Give yourself a chance to redeem yourself," which I accepted because it was what I wanted to hear, even though it was not her forgiveness to give. Between the message Beth sent in college and the conversation with Clara, I allowed myself to hang out again. I think I messed up there. I should not have allowed Clara to be the one to give me permission. I should have sought it directly from Beth, and I did not. I agreed to another hangout and another, and I became more comfortable and grew closer with everyone, including Beth. I was able to confirm that we had grown up in the same hometown, and this was definitely the same Beth. The closeness felt wrong without me fully disclosing, so on maybe the fourth meeting, when others had gotten up to go to the bathroom or get drinks, and it was just the two of us, I said something like, "Beth, I have something I need to talk to you about. Now is not the time, but I was wondering if we could meet for coffee sometime." She agreed. I was practically wetting myself with nerves, and the next week we met up for coffee. I started the conversation with, "I don't know if you recognize me, and I'm sorry to owe you yet another apology either way. If you have recognized me and did not feel comfortable saying something, or did not recognize me and have been interacting with me under false pretenses these past couple weeks, or we're just completely in the dark, but we went to high school together and I was not nice to you." She said that she had recognized me and meant what she said about leaving the past in the past. She had pretended not to know me when I was first introduced to the group, so I did not feel like I had to out myself in front of new people. We talked for a bit. We both opened up to each other about mental health struggles. I thought everything was good. Okay, now I feel like OP is in the clear.
Yeah, you got the forgiveness.
Yeah.
She said, "Let's leave the past in the past."
Anything after this is like Beth is gonna. If Beth retaliates, that'd be too far.
If she was planning revenge, this puts a wrench in her plans, you know?
She's like, "No, the person apologized. I actually see them as a person."
The only thing that matters is how much does this person that got bullied care about morals.
Yeah, I think, I'm hoping right now it seems like she's like, all right. Doesn't seem what's like a movie where the person goes all out in their revenge plan.
Carrie.
Carrie?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
It's true. Don't follow her into you know what? I always get Cask of Amontillado and
Revenge of
Count
the
Monte
Nerds.
Cristo mixed
Up.
up.
Nah.
I was gonna say don't follow her into a wine cellar and let her put a bunch of bricks. A few months passed. I am now very regularly spending time with Clara, Beth, and their group. Then, a couple days ago, we were all at Clara's apartment, and I'm sitting next to Beth on the couch, and she starts sniffing the air. My heart dropped through my stomach. I knew what was coming. She dramatically sniffed and then said loudly to Clara,
"It smells like Anna is trying to cover up her disgusting BO with even more disgusting perfume."
and then she goes into
Be
and she becomes a
original.
demon. Yeah, that was really pathetic.
Just because you're a depressed slob doesn't mean the rest of us have to suffer too.
My jaw dropped to the floor. I tried to laugh it off, but the rest of the group was understandably super confused and upset because they did not have the context. I awkwardly explained that Beth and I knew each other from high school, and I had said something similarly unkind to her when we were 15. They did not appreciate Beth's joke. The gathering came to a very awkward and abrupt end, and I assumed I would never hear from anyone again. The next day at work, Clara was profusely apologizing to me about what Beth said, and I kept trying to say it's fine, I deserved it. But Clara and everyone else in the group is adamant that being an a-hole when you're 15 is different from being an a-hole at 26. I do not necessarily disagree, but the context is more complex than that, and it was one snipe I could have gotten over it. The real problem is that Beth is furious with me. She texted me saying that everyone in the group is mad at her and that it's my fault. Girl, be real.
What happened
Be
to
for real.
leave the past in the past?
Oh my goodness, girl. It's OP's fault. You said the thing.
I'm just going to be real. We could have set up OP really badly, Beth. We could have
we could have done such like a better plot.
yeah.
Next time, run
There
it by
won't
someone
be
else.
it next time. There won't be a next time.
There won't be a next time, but
Yeah.
if there were a next time, run it by someone else.
You could have made it look like OP did something
Yeah.
to you. Like you two were both in the kitchen and
And then you pull like a Jade from Victorious and like pretend you have a black eye, and you're like, OP, why'd you hit me?
yeah,
And OP's like, what? Did I hit her?
we're giving really bad advice. But
Gaslight OP.
come on, we need more.
We need more because this is like an 8-year-old's attack. You know? It's just
Yeah.
like if a 15-year-old bullied an
It's-
8-year-old and the 8-year-old plotted 8 years for revenge and then was like, I told her that I did not understand where she was coming from with that, but that I wanted to hear her out. I also said I didn't understand why she hadn't just told me she was uncomfortable with me being around even once in the past 6 months. And not only that, but actively reassured me that everything was fine when it was clearly not. She said I terrorized her and she saw an opportunity for petty revenge, and so she took it. And it was my fault because I assumed that it would ever be okay to be anywhere near her. I am heartbroken, but I feel like I do not have any right to be. Is she right that I never should have assumed things were okay? Should I have just walked out the second I saw her and left her to her own life without me as a painful reminder of high school years? By the way, I'm here to remind you that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any
I
final thoughts?
feel like OP needs to forgive herself.
Mm-hmm.
I think she started to forgive herself or starting to realize, when she started to realize, wow, I was a crappy person.
Yeah, but I think there is that kind of guilt on display here where she's excusing Beth's more, I don't know, unhinged thoughts and words and actions because she still feels bad. And I think there is, you shouldn't just forget about it. You should understand that Beth has been very hurt and clearly is still affected by it. But also Beth needs to act like an adult in adult situations, and when she doesn't, there are consequences to that weren't even OP's fault. I really feel like I need to leave this friend group, but I do not know how to without them getting more mad at her for boxing me out, which they have said is something they're worried about. I feel like I'm caught between impossible options and it's all my fault. On one hand, I really meant the apology and feel like it was not unreasonable to trust that Beth was being honest with me. On the other hand, the reason I could get a heartfelt apology is because I did the work to really understand and accept the consequences of my actions and the lifelong hurt that being targeted like that as a child can cause. So I do not blame Beth for still being mad at me. Please help. And that is the end of the story.
My sister-in-law made an insensitive comment about my husband, so I answered back.
Just talk behind her back, honestly.
Last night, my husband, our 2-year-old daughter, and I were at my in-laws. My sister-in-law and her husband and kids were there too. The topic of one of their cousin's kids going to university came up. By the way, this comes from Active Storage 1275, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we talked about how going to a good university helps in networking. I mentioned how I had gotten my first business analyst job because my interviewer had also gone to U of T. At this point, my sister-in-law chimed in with University of Toronto, Mississauga, right? So not the actual one. My husband said politely that it's the same thing, and she just shrugged. I asked her where she went. She said she went to University of Toronto and added St. George campus. I then asked how she's using her degree. I knew she's a stay-at-home mom, so maybe that was an a-hole thing to do. She said she chose to be a stay-at-home mom and kind of stopped talking to me. My husband thinks I was out of line. Admittedly, I didn't think it through when I said it. I just said what came to mind. He says her question was tactless but not malicious. I said it was rude, and that's what mattered. The premise of it was just wrong. I have been reconsidering it. She has texted him about how out of line I was. I told her it was a misunderstanding between everyone and to let it go. And we have some relevant comments. Comment 1. Not the a-hole. She had something to say about the campus you went to and was 100% being rude because she felt like hers was better. Your question was valid. What is she doing with her degree? She sounds like one of those people who like to talk about everyone but can't stand it when it's given back. Commenter 2 says, not the a-hole. The U of T thing might not make sense to a lot of Redditors. The St. George campus is the main one, while Miss Izauga and Scarborough can be seen as lesser, which is what the sister-in-law was likely implying. Yes, OP went low, but really only after the sister-in-law did first.
I just want to say, Mrs. Alga sounds like they heard Mississippi and wanted something like that in their own country.
Maybe.
That's my theory.
It sounded like they were drunk, trying to like take Mississippi, like Mrs. Alga.
Just put a really heavy drawl on it. Comment 3. She started it. She deserved it. F around and find out. Commenter 4 says, not the a-hole. I will always hate people who can dish it out but cannot take it. She wanted to put you down and couldn't deal with the clapback. In my opinion, rude is only the person who started it. Sure, we could all be perfect adults and be above it all, but that just reinforces the rude behavior. Your husband is like those teachers that turn a blind eye until the bullied kids fight back. Commenter 5 says, soft, everyone sucks here. She was rude to imply your degree is worth less than hers. You were rude to imply that you think she's wasted her degree. You didn't have to take the bait. OP responds, I know, if I could do it again, I'd probably be more graceful in my response. We acted like immature kids in front of our own kids. Comment 6, you were both being snarky and catty, but she started it, and you finished it, or so you thought. You both should apologize. OP says, I'm honestly ready to apologize if she is.
No!
And we have an update.
Here we go. I'll apologize if she does. See, this is the issue here.
OP didn't start this, though.
Stop. Get out of here.
OP
I can't.
didn't.
I can't with this mentality, Carly. It's too toxic for me.
I was heartened by all the not the a-hole votes. I read a lot of the comments and really appreciated those saying I wasn't the instigator, so I was in the clear. As I read more comments and the way my sister-in-law was being mentioned, it made me feel bad. I don't blame the comments. They were only going by the context I had provided. But I took the fact that my sister-in-law being criticized heavily was making me uneasy as a cue to mend the relationship. She isn't a bad person. She and I aren't BFFs, but I've always been cordial. The not the a-hole verdict gave me peace of mind that my reply wasn't totally uncalled for.
But you also went on a platform where everyone's a little petty. It's too much. Just apologize. This isn't something to be upset. We should have not posted about this.
If this was like a first interaction and she doesn't do this all the time, it's like, yeah, we could have just been like, hey, I'm sorry. And hopefully you just get an I'm sorry back. If she does this all the time.
That's her personality. That's her way of life.
Then it was more called for. So I asked my husband if she was still messaging him. He said she just sent a final wall of text about how hurt she was and then gone quiet. He told her that her remark was thoughtless. I told him I was willing to apologize if she did too. Last night, I got a call from her. She said she realized that her comment about UTM had come across as insulting and that was not her intention. There we go. We got it. She said she was really proud of me and my career and how I juggled it with being a mother and apologized for her remark.
Now let's jiggle it, guys. Let's go. I love forgiveness. I love it. Gosh.
And I would love if you guys went and listened to more full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. Search up OK Storytime.
This was really a minimal thing to forgive someone over.
Yeah, I agree with you. We probably didn't need to go to Reddit for all of this. We could have just like waited a day and it would have kind of just like fixed.
Yeah, but in the moment, dude, you get so like,
it's heated.
What am I supposed to do with all these emotions?
Especially when it's your husband's sister, so he has to kind of like listen to her a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. All right, how's it go? Do they make up? Do they kiss? What happens?
Definitely kiss. OP continues. I thanked her and said my comment about her degree was out of line. That she's an awesome mother and my remark had zero thought behind it. It was just me saying whatever came to mind. She broke down a bit, and that honestly made me feel terrible. I teared up too, and we just agreed to put this behind us. As I mentioned in my original post, my reply was instinctive. I don't think she's wasting her degree, and I hope her comment had equally no thought behind it. But I'm glad I patched it up with her. And some final comments. Comment 1, there really wasn't another way to interpret that, was there? Comment 2 says, sister-in-law feels little, so she wants to make OP feel little too. There's lots of degrees of this, from veritable strangers trying to make people feel little, which is prime a-hole behavior. Then there is your family, where someone may be feeling little for dozens of reasons and lashes out and then gets KO'd by the response. It's not cool to lash out. It's not unexpected when you get a proportional response back. But with the people you care about, there's always room for apologies and correcting behavior going forward. Someone replies, "Can we please just encourage people to be kind and forgiving? This wasn't some years-long harmful pattern, of which this was the latest example of. At least no such thing was mentioned." She did apologize, and it seemed sincere, and went on to compliment OP. I'm even on board with OP's initial comment, as I really think rude people, even unintentionally rude people, should not be protected from consequences of their behavior. Why are people so quick to hurt others and keep grudges?
Katie made a really good point. Oh, that was actually sincere. That's how apologies go. You gotta go to level 2. Not just don't stay on the surface. You gotta go down a little bit.
My wife admitted she's withholding intimacy unless I go to the gym.
Oh, what a good motivator that is.
I am a very busy professional. I work 220 to 240 hours a month at 2 different, very demanding jobs, one of which requires me to travel out of town 6 to 8 days a month. We have a child who's almost 2, and my wife feels totally overwhelmed when she has to parent alone. By the way, this comes from user singlebackground5280, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
And wouldn't you know it, we're here to give good advice goofily, but we're just goofballs. We don't have all the answers. We only know the things we do. So tell us the things you do in the comments. And OP says, whether it's when I'm traveling or when I work long hours locally, she's open that it's fully overwhelming for her, especially because she works part-time from home too. So when I am home, she openly asks me to do the huge majority of the parenting and the house chores. She says that without me there, the house falls apart, and she's right. I come home to the house in total disarray, piles of dishes everywhere, old food dried and crusted throughout the kitchen, days of clothes just piled up on the floor, empty baby bottles strewn on the ground and not picked up. These are things that are not like her when I am around, but being alone overwhelms her. So when I am home, since the baby has been born, I've had hours and hours of house cleaning to do whenever I return. Plus, being essentially the only parent, like she was when I was gone, and cooking and handling all of the neglected additional house chores. That's fine. That's cool. But for the last almost 2 years, our spicy sleep life has dropped precipitously. We had a dip before and went to therapy over it, and I'll never know what she told the therapist, but the therapist said to me that I have to be ready for her to divorce me if it comes down to it, because it may not be reconcilable, and that I might not have enough hours in the day to do what she needs me to do. Thankfully, that was years ago, and we got way better after, but the comment always stuck with me. Well, now we're back in a rut, and every time I ask her about it, she either says she wants me to go lift weights or some variation of, I want you to do selfish things for yourself and your own betterment. Sometimes that latter is going out with friends or going to sporting events without her. Often it's just literally something selfish. But I never want to do those things because she clearly is still handling parenthood so poorly. The gym thing is bothering me, though. I am a thin and in shape guy who generally hates going to the gym with all my heart and soul. I eat super healthy, and that's how I've maintained a good physique into middle age without going to a gym. But she is adamant that I go to the gym. This goes back many years. Every time I went to the gym before we had a kid, it was pure torture for me, and I hated every minute. She would ask me about how healthy and great I felt, and I couldn't lie, and had to tell her I was achy and wished that I had that hour of my life back. We've gotten trainers, and they comment that I'm motivated and trying hard, but the actual quote is, "This isn't really for you." I had one who flat out said he'd never seen someone so cooperative and yet so miserable at the same time. Now my wife is saying that she's consciously withholding spicy sleep, and has been for a while, despite having a regular libido, hoping it would motivate me to go back. The reason I found out is because she has canceled every date we have planned for like 3 to 4 months because she doesn't want to go out to eat, even when the date isn't a meal, because she knows every date will eventually require some food at some point, and she wants to withhold dates until I go to the gym. She argues that despite me living for years on a high plant, low fat, low cal diet and having perfect health, if I don't have muscle mass, I am unhealthy, and she won't give me any spicy sleep or dates until I am healthy. All I can think about is that if I do go to the gym, I will, for one, be frickin' miserable, and two, be spending money to be miserable, and three, my wife's mental status will fall apart being a single parent for even an hour, as she really has issues with handling that time alone with our kid. And four, I'll have to spend more of my free time cleaning up messes that didn't have to exist if I wasn't at the gym. What's funny is she is insanely and openly pouring love and praise upon me about everything else, and constantly says how she wasn't ready to be a mom at all and is only surviving because I am so dedicated to picking up the slack every waking minute when I'm home. She says no one else would be a super husband like that, but the spicy sleep? Nah. But you know something I'll always say yeah to is you listening to more episodes full of stories like this one on your favorite podcast platforms. Just search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, doesn't matter. Just search the name, and you're in the game. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little bit left of this story.
Yeah, this is weird.
I feel like you're going to have to sort of, I mean, yeah, it's a mess. Your wife makes messes, but she's going to have to keep getting the reps to get better at it, you know? And that's something that you guys maybe can look for a resource for. So there's got to be something that can help her out if, you know, being alone with the kid.
Yeah.
And that's not a good excuse not to go to the gym because there's going to be an hour worth of mess.
Right.
You know, you also don't even have to go to a gym to work out.
True.
Which I don't. I hate going to, like, gyms.
Yeah.
Just having to wait for machines. There's freaking people everywhere. It's like, I just don't like it. Working out for me is like something I want to do privately.
Sure.
And
it's an option.
Yeah, you can literally just start doing, like, push-ups.
Yeah.
Calisthenics.
Right. Just order some weights. But it is interesting to me that, like, that seems to be such a big issue is that she doesn't like being a single parent when he's not around. And then, like, the main thing that she's asking for is for him to go to the gym. Like, this feels like there's other stuff that we just don't know about.
That is a good point. No, it feels like there's just other stuff that's actually more of a big deal than, like, all right, well, I mean, it is weird to be having this, like, held against you, and it's like, no spicy sleep for you. But it's
very
like,
weird.
I think you guys need some counseling or assistance in terms of how to navigate, like, parenting together and your wife being able to parent while you're at work and, like, just, like, how intimacy factors into all that at all. Like,
like, the fact that she was saying that she constantly expresses how she wasn't ready to be a parent, that's concerning to me.
Yeah.
Like, if they're really young, like, I feel like that's probably normal, but then there's different solutions that we can find for that. Like, I don't know how old the kids are, but yeah, I don't know. This sounds like a whole chaotic mess, and we're not getting, like, a clear, like, problem.
Yeah, I think the problem is you guys need to be a team.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, yeah, you can boink me if you get muscles. It's like, I think we need to be more concerned about the fact you can't seem to keep it together if I'm not here with a kid.
This is a lot of, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, rather than, like, us against the problem.
Right. So the spicy sleep won't be happening unless you address this one thing I've wanted you to do for years, even if it costs me the same sanity that I need you home to constantly maintain. I don't know what to do, except go to the gym, be pissed, and either get buff while my house falls apart, or wait until she realizes she asked for something she doesn't really want. Comments. Wow, that's manipulative AF. Spicy sleep isn't a bargaining chip and never should be one. Ask her how she would feel if you withheld money to motivate her to have spicy sleep and see what she says. Y'all don't like that? It's the same behavior with different securities we've promised to our partners. And why is she so hung up on the gym? Ask her specifically. OP replied, she says she's incredibly concerned that I will pass away and leave her alone because I'm 8 years older, and she thinks lower muscle mass is going to correspond to shorter life as much more than good cardiovascular health. I mean, there's probably some truth to that. But,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it still does, like, to be clear, it is weird to just, like, withhold that
Yeah.
while saying it's because it's your health and I need you to get healthier. If you're being honest, you just be like, I'm not that into your physical aesthetic, and I need you to have more muscles.
Right.
That's a more like at least honest, vulnerable thing instead of being like, yeah, no, it's just for your health. I don't know,
Yeah.
because if you're not attracted to someone, you're not. But like, if you're married to them, you certainly would like to be.
Right.
So it's just a hard discussion. And buddy, you don't have to go to the gym. You can do stuff
Yeah.
at home.
Do sword fighting. Protect your home with a sword. You can do it.
Yeah, look at it as a way to train your perception. So
Yeah.
because it's like if you can go do the gym even though you hate it, or if you can work out even though you absolutely hate it,
Mm-hmm.
you can do all kinds of stuff
Right.
even if you absolutely hate it. It's like
Yeah.
it opens the door. Embrace the suck is what they say.
Yeah. This is just very weird situation. I think what you said earlier about them, the problem being that they just need to be a team. Like, I feel like if she was actually concerned about his health, then she would, like, I don't know, be helping out making certain meals, or like coming up with some sort of plan at the gym, or trying to find different physical activities. I don't know.
Yeah, instead of just being like all of this. You want
Right.
all of this.
Yeah.
Go do a push-up. You can get all of this.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Weird.
But that is the end of that story.
I begged for a connection for years, and my wife says I'll be fine without it.
What do we need to be connected for? Yeah, whatever. Let's just not.
My wife and I have been together for 25 years and married for 18 years. Like all couples, our relationship has its ups and downs. It has also gone through different phases. When it comes to spicy sleep, which is the topic of this post, our relationship went through 3 distinct phases. By the way, this comes from Zesty Clothes Win 2630. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations. So let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, at the very start of our relationship, I was very clear about my need for spicy sleep and that I could not be in a spiceless relationship. I am the kind of guy who develops emotional attachment through physical intimacy. Do not ask me why. That's just the way I am. As far as I remember, my wife never said, okay, that's not going to work for me. Quite the opposite, in fact. The first 10 years of our relationship were carefree, exciting, full of passion and spicy sleep. My wife was quite wild, bold, and experimented a lot as she grew in confidence. We were discovering each other and very much enjoying it. We then got married and eventually had our son. This had a significant impact on my wife, both physiologically and psychologically. Her body changed and her center of attention very much shifted from our couple to our son. Fair enough. I knew that sort of thing would happen with hormonal changes, mom brain, and so on. And I was hoping it would be transient. 6 to 9 months after the birth of our son, our spicy sleep life resumed, albeit on a different level. My wife was much less enthusiastic about it, and the quality and frequency of spicy sleep significantly decreased. To be fair, I was getting consumed by work, and this had an impact on my energy levels and my ability to focus on her needs too. Credit to her, over time my wife lost the pregnancy weight and recovered her figure. She is, to this day, a very attractive lady. In that second phase, spicy sleep was unsatisfactory. I had to beg on my knees each time to get some, as my wife would never initiate. When she reluctantly agreed to it, she made sure that the experience would be unfulfilling, so I would be even more deterred the next time. It felt like I was having spicy sleep with a motionless, expressionless woman who did not love me, which was a massive turnoff. But still, it was spicy sleep. At that point, I realized we should have tried counseling, as she was not happy and I was not happy, but we did not. Then the third phase started about 6 years ago, and my wife completely lost interest in spicy sleep. I mean completely. Not only spicy sleep, but any form of intimacy too. She no longer wants to have spicy sleep, something she puts down to perimenopause. When I complain about the lack of spicy sleep, as we have not had any for several years in a row now, she says it is normal and that all marriages go through that phase and that you do not need spicy sleep to be in a fulfilling relationship.
I'm sure this is true for some couples, but not for me. She says she understands that spicy sleep matters to me, which is sweet of her, but she also says that she wants spicy sleep to feel natural and mutual and not something that she is doing to meet my needs or play a role. I think she means she no longer wants to dress in a feminine way, do her nails, do her hair, and so on. She is no longer interested in appealing to me. Anyway, the appearance bit is a red herring in my view because she no longer wants to have spicy sleep, irrespective of what she looks like. Full stop. Spicy sleep aside, when I complain about the lack of intimacy, she says she wants connection too, but only if it comes from a place of respect and ease for both of us. I'm not sure what she means by that, as I've always respected her. In the past 27 years, she has very rarely initiated cuddles, kisses, or even smiled at me. And that's this whole time you've been together?
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm confused by that
We've
because
been together for 27 years. She doesn't ever smile.
right. Like that's very different from what you said earlier that like the first 10 years of your relationship were very passionate and exciting and spicy for both of you. So what do you mean she very rarely initiated cuddles even? This is
Can't
odd
have
to
a
me.
relationship without cuddles.
Come on, what are you even doing? if
Rule
you're not
number
cuddling?
1.
Come on.
Gotta have cuddles.
Gotta. I am always the one making the first move. I asked why she's like that, and she said past issues she faced when she was young means that she does not do intimacy easily. Okay, I can accept that. But she had counseling and resolved those issues from the past, she says. Yet her attitude to intimacy has not changed at all in practice. Also, it does not make sense given that we had a great first 10 years in our relationship, and she was then a completely different person, very open to physical intimacy and quite adventurous. I suggested that we have couples therapy, but she's not interested. She says it's just talking and a waste of time. Yeah, talking through our issues is such a waste of time.
Yeah, why would
God.
anyone talk
Yeah.
when we could just not?
We can't talk, can't have spicy sleep. That's just too much for this relationship. What a waste of time. She may well have a point, but I'm so desperate that I would like us to have that talking therapy anyway. Like many men, I watch porn, perhaps more than the average. I don't know. What can I do since I'm no longer getting any spicy sleep? Hire an escort, have an affair, chop my bits off? She thinks I can't help but watch it and that it is distorting my approach to spicy sleep and intimacy. While I am prepared to accept that corn has an influence on me to some degree, I am sane enough to realize that corn is not real spicy sleep. I have never forced my wife to do anything that she would not want to do. I am also confident that corn does not influence my approach on non-spicy related intimacy. And yes, like many men before me, I tried to organize dates, book expensive hotels and restaurants, buy pretty clothes, dresses, shoes, jewelry, and so on. That did not work for us, I'm afraid. If only spending dollars could fix a marriage. My wife is not a material girl at all, which is consistent with her not caring about her appearance. And I will consistently tell you that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Yeah.
There is more to this story, but man, oh man. It sounds like maybe she just lost passion for this relationship.
Now sounds like the perfect opportunity to open your marriage.
You think?
No. No. That is not good.
Not good. I think maybe you just have to ask the question now, like, do you even want to be in this relationship? Like, what is something that you value in this relationship? In me. Because to me, an outsider, it don't seem like you guys got a relationship going on.
It doesn't feel like it.
Like, if it was just spicy sleep, I feel like I don't know, maybe there'd be ways to fix that, but from the context and everything that you've tried, and then everything else that she doesn't even, like, want to talk about things and doesn't see this as an issue, like, I don't know, man. Is she just in the mindset of, like, well, I'm just not that interested in my partner anymore?
I don't know. It almost feels like the mindset is like, well, you should just know. You should just know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to talk to you about stuff. You should just know.
Right.
I shouldn't have to have a conversation with you about how to initiate with me because you should just know, and it needs to be organic and it needs to be natural, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how to do that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It sounds like she just doesn't, like, if she said that thing about like, well, yeah, I mean, like most marriages just don't have spicy sleep later on, and that's just how it is. It sounds like that's kind of her thought to like, yeah, in most marriages, you just like stop loving them at a certain point, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, you just get bored and your life is worse and,
Yeah.
well, you know, whatever. It's just the way it is.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But OP continues. Do not get me wrong. I am far from perfect. I have my shortcomings. This post is also very much written from my perspective. I love my wife and I want to make it work with her. But it also takes two to tango. Anyway, I have a few questions for you folks. Is what is happening to us a common thing in married couples? What can I do to fix the problem? Is the problem all with me or is it more with my wife? Is the problem fixable at all? Could my wife benefit from hormone replacement therapy? At this point, are we even compatible? And that's the end of that story. My family went to New York without me and didn't even tell me.
Reverse Home Alone.
My 20 female family situation is a little wonky. For some backstory, my sister, Mindy, 18 female, and I have been through everything together. We don't have great relationships with our parents, so our aunt, dad's sister, and uncle graciously took us in when we were teenagers. My cousin, Caitlin, 22 female, and I are very, very close and have been since we were very young, and she lived at the house with us. By the way, this comes from Aromatic Goose 6744, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie,
I'm Carly.
and we're here to give you good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers, we just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, over the course of the years and throughout high school, we've taken various vacations together with mutual friends of ours, including her boyfriend, Caleb, 21 male. He started living with my aunt, uncle, and cousin at the same time that my sister and I did due to his own family issues. He's been with her for almost 6 years now. Through the filtering of friends, my cousin and I seemed to stay pretty close, or so I thought. My sister and my relationship is okay, I'd say. We have our moments, sure, but we get along for the most part and are pretty close. Mindy is currently a freshman in college a few hours away. I'm in college only about an hour away from home, and Caitlin lives in the same city as me. I found out today that Caitlin, Caleb, and Mindy are on a trip to New York. We're from the deep south and don't get to experience places or things like this ever, and in fact, I've never left the south. This immediately hit me hard. They even brought a mutual friend of ours, Riley, 21 female, who comes around our family a lot and is also Caitlin's roommate, as Caleb has to live in a different city for work. Caitlin and Caleb mentioned to me that they were going to New York, so I assumed it was just them. My sister also did not mention anything about going. Neither did my aunt and uncle, who admitted to me that they bought the plane ticket. To make matters worse, when I confronted my aunt and uncle about the situation, my aunt gave me a ChatGPT response. And this is what it was. I get why it feels that way to you, and I'm sorry that this has hurt you, but I didn't plan the trip. Wasn't involved in decisions about who went, and it truly isn't something I'm able to explain or justify. This is really something you need to talk through with them. The text was bolded and everything. That made me even more upset, y'all.
Like, you can actually tell it was copy and pasted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be mad.
That's actually crazy.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh. You couldn't even take the bold words off. I texted Caitlin and explained how she made this trip sound initially. I asked if there was a reason I didn't get invited or if I did something wrong, and that I was feeling very confused and hurt. I genuinely wanted to understand. She said, to be honest, we weren't keeping it a secret, but we weren't blatantly bringing it up in conversation. One, to seem like we were rubbing it in. Two, we didn't want to have the awkward conversation of, why wasn't I invited? I didn't know how to bring it up without it sounding braggy or rude, and of course, no one wanted to hurt your feelings, and we were trying to avoid this right here. I said, I understand that, but that doesn't really explain the why. Like, what was the reasoning behind you not wanting me to go? It's one thing to go to Florida and not invite me. I can be okay with that, but New York? That's a really big trip. For context, my sister's senior trip, she, a couple of her friends, Caitlin, and my aunt went to Florida, which is only a few hours from us. They also invited Caleb to drive down for a day to hang out. I never got told about it. I can get past Florida, but New York is a dream. She said, it's not that someone didn't want you to go. We were planning it. You didn't come to the forefront as an option because we don't really see you or hang out with you. Only when you come home every now and then. I did not plan the Florida trip. If you'd like to have a conversation about this with all three of us when we get back, we can do that. I've always been obsessed with the show Glee. It's my guilty pleasure show, and ever since then, it's been a dream to go to New York. They know that. I've always said it.
Because of Glee.
Because of Glee. That is actually really funny.
Meanwhile, only like the last 2 seasons
Yeah,
of Glee are in New
when
York.
it gets bad. Like
I get it though, like show tunes and stuff.
Sure,
but
sure.
It's just funny. I would
That
think
is
if you're
funny.
thinking Glee, you'd want to go to like
high
isn't
school.
it like Ohio or something?
Yeah, something like that. That is
but
really
but I
funny.
can understand. I can
Right,
understand.
right. I'm aware that maybe I don't reach out as often as I should. I've been home about 4 to 5 weekends out of this semester. I'm very busy with an 18-hour course load, 2 jobs, and preparing for graduation and making sure I can graduate. This semester has really bit me in the butt, and maybe I haven't communicated the best to my family. But I also don't get reached out to either. I don't get phone calls from them, but we still text a lot in family group chats. My sister and I send vlogs to each other on Snapchat once in a while. It actually used to be daily, but we've both gotten so busy, and she's just joined a sorority at her school. For the past couple of months, we haven't talked much. I feel like I'm being punished for living my life, or like I need to feel guilty for moving away from home and actually committing to that by taking opportunities in a larger city. And I hope you can take the opportunity to listen to full episodes of stories just like this one by going to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but I would say that that's a little extreme for being like punished for living your life.
Right. That would like you're not around so we don't think about you is kind of weird.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, that's weird.
Like as someone
'Cause-
who moved away, I still don't think I'm like left out of
Yeah.
trip thoughts.
Right. It's such a weird balance cuz like I don't that does seem odd.
Yeah.
Especially if OP's saying that like they don't even reach out to her.
Right.
But I don't know if I would like call it punished for living your life or like feeling guilty for moving away.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I'd call it. I think I'd
Yeah.
just call it like inconsiderate people.
Yeah.
They
something
just
like
kind of
that.
suck and aren't really thinking about you. And it's like,
right.
I don't know how much you're actually going to get through to them at that point if they've already done it twice and they're still out here like, but you just have to like ask. And it's like, well, then I do and you get mad.
Right. And it's like how am I supposed to ask if I didn't even know
Right.
about
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
I think you should get some friends together and have your own New York trip. Do New York how you want.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, go
You can go see all the sights from Glee.
yes. Cuz maybe your family wouldn't even want to see all that anyway.
Yeah, probably not if they sound lame.
Right? And I mean, maybe that is just like a wake up call to you and your family of just like, you know, this really sucks, but I understand. Let's hang out more or let's like
Yeah.
make more plans together.
Or
you know?
even that, yeah. Why don't you guys come visit me wherever I
Right.
live now and we'll do a trip out here and
yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
tough.
I think this sucks and that does hurt, but I kind of get where they're coming from, but I also get where you're coming from too. I get both sides, but I don't think this is like relationship ruining, especially with family, but maybe you can just find a solution of how to move forward.
I agree.
There is a little bit more to the story. Caitlin goes home every weekend to see her boyfriend and the family. My sister is further than me, but visits home more frequently. I feel like they have this expectation that I need to do the same. I just still don't really understand why they didn't tell me and why they left me out. Not to be all woe is me, but I view Caitlin and Caleb as my sister and brother. I still feel just as confused and hurt. Am I the a-hole for wanting to be invited to New York? And that's the end of that story. Yeah, no, I
Not
don't
at
think
all.
so.
Nope.
I don't think so.
My in-laws resent me because I took away my fiance from them.
He's my fiance.
Am I the petty a-hole? I, female 41, and my fiance, 34 male, have been engaged for a little over 18 months and have known one another for 6 years. We get along great and are best friends and treat each other with respect and completely support one another. By the way, this comes from No Presents 5765, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly, eventually Vincent.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, our relationship started when he was selling something we collect jointly on Facebook. And from that sales, and we started talking more, became friends, and then 3 years ago finally took the time to meet in person. We live 500 miles apart and in completely different states. I in Michigan, he in central Illinois, which wasn't a problem. When we finally met in person, it was beyond what I could have dreamed, what my childhood ideals were. Well, blown out of the water to how wonderful and kind he is. Let's call my fiance Dante. After picking me up at the airport, we made our way to the family farm and met his parents. First meeting was nice. They were civil and friendly. I ended up staying about a week before heading back to my home state. Things between Dante and I were more than dreamlike and were so amazing as months passed. His younger sister invited me to her wedding, which was held in June that year. So I made the second trip down and we had a grand trip. I enjoyed every moment. Dante's parents were still being civil and had asked us to help with caring for a few things, running last-minute errands for finalizing things. No biggie. I offered to help with setup and getting things ready out of the kindness of my heart. That visit went well. The wedding had a few hiccups, but nothing major. Fast forward, last year started out rough for me. My father had some serious health issues and ended up being put into hospice, where he passed away at home per his wishes. I was there helping support my mom and my father through this process. I was beyond shattered. We had time to cope, knowing it was coming, but when it came down to it, the loss of a parent or even a loved one in general is hard to deal with.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what they say.
I had kept Dante informed what was going on, and even being so many miles apart, he was my rock. Dante had met my parents and they had become fast friends and adored him. He and my dad had weekly conversations about what was going on at the farm and where my fiance worked, since we are both used to the agricultural side of life. My father had passed. Dante made the trip up to support and be with me, as I was completely at a loss. His parents had made the rude comment to him that he didn't know my family anything, that he didn't know us well enough to make the trip up and support us in our time of grief. Red flag 1. You guys were together at that point, no?
Yeah, this just sounds like weird vibes.
Weird bad vibes. He did anyway and helped me cope with the loss. We made plans for the end of June, early July to have him come up for some vacation time. I had it all planned out. I figured heading to the UP was a perfect getaway. I hadn't been up there in some years and thought he would enjoy seeing some of the spots I spent time at growing up that were further north. Time for vacation time.
And just so that we all know, UP stands for the Upper Peninsula.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
That's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Time for vacation time. Dante was excited to head up and see other spots of my childhood. We took back roads to avoid the S-curves in Grand Rapids, hit some lovely antique spot along the way, stopped and hit some old stomping grounds before we arrived in Mackinac City, where we camped. Yes, we camped rustically, where we could see the mighty Mack Bridge. We had gotten out to stretch and relax before setting up the tent. Our toes were in Lake Huron when he asked a couple nearby to record us. He proposed to me.
Aw, with your little piggies in Lake Huron?
And it was fairy tale perfect. We got a round of congratulations from the couple. I feel like that is so much pressure for that other couple. If you're like handed a phone and you're like, hey, can you record this? Like, what if you take a bad
Yeah,
recording?
and then you
What if
just
you're-
start recording, and then you're like, oh my god.
You're like, okay.
sorry.
Lighting. Someone flashlight, please.
You were
on
just
them.
like, if it was me, I'd probably end up doing the thing where you just start taking a bunch of selfies
like,
to
wait.
leave on their phone, and
I'm
then
not
they
ready
start
yet.
proposing. I'd be like,
Imagine you miss the
Yeah.
moment because you're like taking selfies.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, guys, have a good one here. Oh no,
that would be,
Flip,
I'd
flip.
be running away so fast.
I'd steal a phone.
But
Yeah.
I would throw it in the lake
Do it again.
and go, ah! And then I would also jump in the lake
Yeah,
because they're not going to follow me into the
No.
lake.
that's crazy.
I just screamed. They're going to let me swim away.
And you threw their phone in the lake.
That's going to be a little more problematic. Yeah, probably.
And we stayed on the beach for a few more minutes before setting up for the night. The next day, we made our way across the bridge after we played tourist in the area, even doing a lighthouse tour. We made our way further north and enjoyed our time together. We walked Tuquamanon Falls and then headed towards our final camping spot along Lake Superior. When I say this, let me say we could see the lake from our site, which was about 1,000 yards from the lake. We stayed there 2 nights, and surprisingly, the lake was quite calm for those days. The final night, we enjoyed the sunset, and the lake was mirror calm. It was perfect. Everything with Dante has been perfect even since then. After our vacation and he headed back to Illinois, things on his side of the family got more interesting. They didn't offer help to find a house for us. They were strongly against us getting engaged, saying that he's not known me long enough. We've been good at ignoring that for the most part. I kept in mind that we had to be living fairly close to the family farm so that when he had to do checks during calving season, he was near enough and was closer to where I would transfer to once we found a home together. We finally found one end of November, jumped on it, and closed within a short amount of time. His parents have only been in our house 2 times since then, even after offering to host some of the holidays just to have more space. That's been shot down. The last time they were here, all we heard was his mom critiquing how we had things set up. That some of the prints she had gotten him would get ruined in the basement, though our basement is very dry and no issues. I had made supper, and they visited and then basically ran. I love taking photos as a hobby, and like going to the farm and taking pictures of all the cattle and things that inspire me around there. Well, this year, after having helped with some of the chores during last calving season, I've now been told I'm not welcome out there unless Dante is there with me. Mind you, I've been around livestock my entire life, more horses than cattle, but the mindset is still the same. Whatever, move on. Sister becomes pregnant, has the baby, and they dote on them like no other. Things are planned more around the convenience for them. At first, I don't mind, but then being excluded from things started to be noticed. His dad was making the effort to keep Dante at the farm longer, even though there was nothing going on. Them going out to lunch, even though I was home that day, and failed to invite me. We are 10 minutes from the farm, mind you. Well, since moving in, anytime we've had get-togethers, I've been ignored to the point it's gotten me so mad. I can say I've become accustomed to that due to some family issues in the past, and just generally not feeling adequate by some people. As the holidays approached, I sent messages to future mother-in-law to see about plans for meals. Thanksgiving, I was ignored on messages sent and calls. Now here we are, coming up to Christmas and getting the same thing. I called and got a response. The caller is not accepting calls at this time. Text gone unseen. DM on Facebook ignored. I now suspect she's blocked me.
And it's like, good riddance.
Yeah, truly. It seems like they're just nasty. They're just nasty little folks.
You and your husband got your own stuff to worry about now.
Yeah. Last night, sister-in-law, bless her for being so honest, came out with the truth. Dante's parents have stated to her that they flat out hate me. Why? Why?
Because you stole her.
I
You
guess so.
stole our cowboy away from the farm.
But the thing is that he lives 10 minutes away from the farm.
That's 10 minutes too far away. What if the ponies need his help?
Vincent, what are your thoughts about this?
Of living 10 minutes away from a farm?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're from a farm.
I grew up on a farm, and yeah, we had like some cows. We normally have them close in the winter, like in our feedlot, but we have pastures like 10, 20 minutes, half an hour away sometimes.
Dang.
And we don't have like a big herd. It's like 100 cattle. I don't know how big of a farm they're talking about, but if it's a small one, being 10 minutes away is nothing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. I mean, it is nothing.
There
Yeah,
you go.
It's
English
definitely
major.
feasible.
I've been nothing but kind and supportive to their son. I've gone out of my way to prove how genuine I am, and have nothing to hide. Several reasons she told was the age difference. Then the issue of my weight came in. I'm slightly heavier. And his mother thinks I have a multitude of health issues, which I don't. And had made comments about my fertility or the fact if we get pregnant, our child could have disabilities. His father has ignored any and all attempts to talk.
I'm sorry. You mean like every child?
Yeah.
Like every pregnancy?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Just a lot of assumptions here. I've tried talking about the cattle, on hunting, on a number of topics just to be ignored. This Christmas is hitting me harder on the loss of my father and knowing next year we are planning our wedding and he won't be there to walk me down the aisle. I have been struggling to look at his father as a father figure and I'm getting this reaction. It completely guts me. I'm now at the point that I know we need to have an open conversation to clear the air, but also know if that happens, I'm going to lose my temper and show them just how bad my temper is and flat out tell them off. Dante says he will stop helping on the farm, to cut them off completely, but I don't want that to come to either. As working cattle, he loves so very much, but I want to so badly tell them off on how selfish and stupid they're being. Am I the a-hole for wanting to do this or just completely wanting to wash my hands of being around them? Other than holidays. I don't even want them celebrating my birthday if they don't like me. It's that horrible. Dante worries I'll leave him due to their behaviors, but I won't. as I'm so completely happy with him. And backstory.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be leaving him unless he was like, well, that's
Yeah.
all fine. And that's
Yeah.
all okay.
Yeah,
and we
no,
should
he's
all
super supportive.
we should accept that they hate you.
Yeah, he was like willing to cut them off for you. So clearly you guys have a good relationship, which is good. But there is a little backstory. Guess the best way to summarize more of this is the fact that Dante has still been living at their home and working his butt off to the ground for basically free on the farm. Like he was barely getting paid for being on call 24/7 from December to April for calving season for doing all the grunt work, even as they have a hired hand who's worthless. But I took him away from them and out from under their thumb. I didn't mind the fact when we met he was staying at home yet, just because of the situation with the farm. But it's been since that moment he's decided to be with me. I've been treated like crap by them. He was having health issues with severe GERD, and since we've been together, he's improved on that. He's eating healthier and a more diverse diet than what his mother was making. Also, we aren't eating out a lot. I just feel like I could be the a-hole if I finally fly off the handle at them. I would rather do it sooner than later, but in the thought of it being so close to Christmas, I'm at a loss. By the way, I'm not at a loss about what you guys can listen to, which is full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is an update.
Why don't you go freaking do that,
Go
man?
freaking do that.
Why don't you just do that?
There is an update to finish the story off, but what do you think?
Do I think you should fly off the handle? Probably not.
No, I don't think that.
Like, do I think that you guys should just be like, hey, your behavior's gross, and because you outwardly express how much you hate me, and then from your husband's perspective, my wife, we're not really gonna be around.
Yeah.
You know, unless you can chill out and apologize and be normal people. But that doesn't feel like that's going to happen.
No, but I do think that you should really work on not flying off the handle. We shouldn't be solving any, issues that we have with yelling or just a lack of control.
Yeah. Once you fly off the handle, you leave the high road behind. So if you can, do your best to take the high road.
Yeah.
Be with kindness, but also draw that firm line.
But there's a little bit left. Update. Future mother-in-law, after asking Dante about our plans for Christmas, and Dante repeatedly asking her if she's checked her messages, admitted to blocking my number. Surprise! But this was due to the fact that when we were both super busy during the fall at our jobs, I picked up working at a grain elevator for harvest season, and we both were working 12-hour shifts. Had helped take our dog out to potty midday. After her pushing boundaries and saying things to Dante that he had no knowledge of the dog as he came down with me. Example, he's in a kennel in the kitchen so he can see the cats and not alone. She decided to put him in the spare bathroom and close the door. He was alone and couldn't see anything and panicked, so now we have to trim to repair. I had sent messages if she had questions to ask me. So now here we are at this stage, and I've decided Sunday we will have our talk and clear the air. Our wedding more than likely is going to get moved ahead, and a few changes too in that regard, as Dante's grandmother has stage 4 cancer and has been the only one of the family who has supported and loved me.
Aww.
I'm so sorry, OP. When I had asked future mother-in-law, she said that it would be better just to go over and play cards with her. Sorry, breaking point reached, and hearing there are so many stipulations, they said, for me coming to the farm, I'm making it clear that I will not go anywhere if I'm not welcome. The soapbox drama will continue, I'm sure, but I'm at least going to say my piece. And that is the end of that story, folks. My in-laws gave me a gift, and it was something I gave them already.
They re-gifted your own gift back to you?
I, 22 female, and my partner, 24 male, just spent our first Christmas together as an engaged couple. We are still in college, so we didn't have a lot of money to spend this year. Instead, we volunteered as a Christmas gift to each other sporadically throughout the holiday season. Love that. By the way, this comes from drybid5188, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I am Darth Coda.
I'm Vincent, and we also have Carly back here.
But Opie says, my fiance's dad, George, 61 male, lost his job 2 years ago and has been struggling financially since. We invited him and my fiance's mother, Kaya, 58 female, to volunteer with us in lieu of gifts. They politely declined, but understood we couldn't afford monetary gifts this year. Flash forward to a week before Christmas, they start calling and asking when we are getting together to exchange gifts. We re-explained that we couldn't afford gifts because of school, prices going up everywhere, our rent just doubled, and we're struggling. They got upset, saying the whole point of Christmas was to give to people you love. We apologized and said we'd love to spend time with them, but we can't afford gifts. Party day comes. We get there and begin our celebration. They were still not ready when we arrived. The house was a mess and none of the food was ready, which was fine, of course. I offered to help in the kitchen, but I got snapped at by Kaya, saying, "You don't say that in this house." So we weren't allowed to help and could do nothing but watch as they ran around and got things ready. About 45 minutes later, everything was ready. Mark, my fiance, asked what we would be eating. Sloppy Joes with sesame seed crusted bread. I am deathly allergic to sesame seeds, and they've known this for 4 years that we've been together. Luckily, I brought my own sourdough bread that I made, so I was able to use that as my bread. And for dessert, pecan pie. Which, by the way, I'm also deathly allergic to tree nuts. George made a joke about how they were just heck bent on unaliving me, which didn't land because I am not that close with them. It just felt weird, and my laugh obviously came off as forced, which I feel bad about. A lot of awkward and uncomfortable conversations passed, and then we exchanged gifts. As I mentioned before, we couldn't spend money on gifts this year, but I still gifted them each a homemade sourdough loaf. That's a pretty good gift.
Yeah,
That's a
homemade
pretty good
loaf.
gift. Sourdough loaf? Pretty
Making
nice.
loaves at home. That's how I do it.
I put in different inserts based on what Mark told me they liked. So George got a chocolate cinnamon sourdough loaf. Kaya got a blueberry sourdough loaf. That sounds like a great gift. I want that.
A blueberry sourdough loaf.
They looked like they couldn't care less, which I tried not to act hurt about, but it obviously hurt. They didn't even say thank you. When Kaya pulled out her gifts for me and Mark, she made a lot of comments about them to make us feel bad. She talked about how she spent a lot of money on them, and how it took her forever at the mall to pick the perfect gifts for us. It was obviously a dig at the non-monetary gifts we gave them.
Are you really trying to play the card of like, oh yeah, it took me so long to pick out like a thoughtful gift? It's like, that's how it works.
Yep.
You gotta go look for the thing.
Gotta go dig for them.
I had to go to the mall and spend money to find your gift. And all you
not
had
that
to do
crazy.
was make me food from the bottom of your heart.
Yeah, it's really not that crazy. When I opened mine, my heart sank. Silver earrings and a silver bracelet. A few things you should know about why this hurt my feelings.
I'm allergic to silver.
Yeah, you might be, or she should never wear silver.
Can you be allergic to silver?
Oh yeah, you can be
No.
allergic to minerals.
You
I'm
be
a- yeah.
allergic to silver?
I'm allergic to silver.
You're allergic to silver?
I can only wear, like, certain types of silver, but most earrings I can't wear.
So if you put this
I was
on,
gonna
you would
say,
explode.
Like, a very common thing is that most girls can't wear regular earrings in their ears.
Yeah.
And you need special silver earrings.
Yeah, I can only wear sterling silver if it's like there's like a non-allergenic one.
So if you put this ring
in my ear,
on your finger,
on my finger it's usually fine, but like my neck, I
your,
can't
so
have
your
cheap stuff.
ears are allergic to silver
Well, it's
and
'cause
your
it's in it.
neck is
It's-
allergic to silver.
Yeah,
But
your
not
hands
your
are pretty-
fingers.
I don't know. I feel like
Dude,
your
we're
fingers
such
are,
interesting creatures.
I feel like your hands are kind of rough and tumble, you know. But your ears are. It's like literally a hole in your skin, you know. Anyway.
Wow.
The first and least important thing is that I wear gold jewelry, which she knows because my engagement ring is gold. But like I said, not that important. I don't have my ears pierced. She has gifted me earrings for every celebration, which Mark has reminded her of, and she gifts them anyway. The box was old. It was nearly ripping at the hinges, and the words were fading. It was juicy couture. The gems were broken, falling off, and discolored with dirt. So very obviously old jewelry she didn't want anymore. It reeked of devil's lettuce. Both Kaya and George have their history with substances, albeit I know devil's lettuce isn't bad. But a few Christmases ago, Kaya was found passed away in the living room and had to be resuscitated? Oh my goodness, she was on strong substances.
She was on the Fent.
She lied about her substance and booze use and
She
mistreatment.
lied about her substance use problems.
And this drove Mark to move out of the house. Mark's conditions on regaining contact with them were that they sought treatment. She has since claimed she has stopped drinking and smoking. I plastered a smile on my face and hugged her. She looked smug and proud and continued to talk about how they were the last ones on the shelf and she just had to buy them despite the price. What shelf? The one in your room? I need to clarify that I wouldn't be upset if I was gifted something old, but she was using it as a weapon to hurt my feelings since I didn't buy anything from the store for Christmas. So obviously I'm very upset.
A fresh baked
It's so good.
loaf of sourdough. Didn't they say like blueberry sourdough?
Yeah, that's like a $10 loaf at a
That
farmer's
sounds
market.
delicious. There's something with humans and food where it's like one of the things that made us split off and become so successful is that instead of hoarding our resources, we began to share our resources. So like the act of a human giving another human food is like an ancient primal thing baked into us that is like a expression of like care.
Yeah.
So it's
Eating was
absurd.
a communal thing. That's what like that's how we got like clans and like families stayed together in family groups.
Yeah. So your gift is phenomenal.
And their gift sucks. But that wasn't all. She also got us a gift card, which was the same gift card I gifted them after George's knee replacement surgery. The card had our names on it in my handwriting. I was too scared to check and see if it had a balance on it. Shortly after that, we left. Now that a day has passed, I'm so angry. I feel like I was too nice and should have said something. Mark was also gifted his dad's old coat. This is a pattern for them. At our engagement party, they gifted us a key finder. And when Mark tried to hook it up, it came up as Mark's tracker. It was Mark's old key tracker that he left at their house. I know they struggle with money as well, and I've tried to make it very clear to them that I did not care what they spent on us, if anything at all. I wouldn't have cared if they came right out and said they wanted to give us things they've loved in the past but don't find use for anymore, and thought we would love. Beautiful! Love it! Would have been totally fine. But they tried to use it against us and made us feel guilty for spending money we don't have. This is just a new level of disrespect I didn't expect we would get from them. I have been nothing but nice, and I don't know what to do aside from going no contact.
You take back the loaves, you eat them.
Eat those loaves.
Take back those loaves.
Eat those loaves.
Eat the loaf.
Now I'm trying to talk to my family about how hurt and upset I am, and they're saying I shouldn't say something, and least of all should not cut contact. They're being too nice. They didn't see those smelly earrings. They are saying I'm overreacting for being angry and offended by it. They lied about so much, even their sobriety.
Well, you can't really hold that one against them.
Yeah, that's kind of...
I mean, you can, but it's like, I would just take all the jewelry that they got me that they're like, it was so expensive, blah, 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 blah. I would sell it all and then take the money and then buy myself something nice.
I would give it to them. I would give it back to them.
Yeah, the old disgusting broken
Yeah.
necklace or bracelet or whatever that was that smelled like Snoop Dogg's closet. Actually, his closet probably smells pretty nice. But yeah, I would give that one back a year later. Be like, you know, I found,
spent
and
so
be like,
much time.
I found this. I traveled to a boutique jewelry store across town and I saw this and I just knew you would love it. I spent so much money on it.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. My family is claiming that I was wrong for bringing bread as a gift and that money clearly matters to them and I should have at least given them a gift card or something. They're telling me that they obviously have issues and that I should just have grace and let the moment pass. My fiancé doesn't know what to do. He's extremely embarrassed and I don't want to make him feel worse, but I also cannot stand this treatment. Am I the a-hole? And there are some comments. Comment 1 says not the a-hole. I would message Kaya with concern. Hey, are you and George doing okay? I noticed you regifted the card we gave you, and the earrings were some you already had. We couldn't afford gifts either, so it's not a big deal. And going forward, we don't have to exchange them.
Low-key, though,
Ooh.
actually, that might be exactly what's going on. And, like, that would be the perfect way to do that.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do it in, like, a nasty way.
Yeah.
It's just like actually, because I didn't think about that at all. It's like, are y'all having a hard time and just trying to, like, play it off? Because people do that, man.
Yeah.
People do that, and I don't know why. I mean, like, I know why, but it's so silly.
Yeah. Opie says, I might say something, but I'm currently trying to talk with Mark about it. Personally, I want his parents at our wedding because Mark deserves to have his parents there. Simultaneously, I want to go no contact. You can see how it contradicts. I think it's less of wanting to go no contact and more of wanting their behaviors to stop. Mark has to be the one to do it, unfortunately, because they are his parents. And he knows how they are. He already knows it'll make matters worse. But at what point can we stop letting it go and finally stick up for ourselves? I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about Mark and our children that I absolutely do not want those people around. By the way, I want you guys around to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. We've got one more baby little update, but any final thoughts, guys?
You know what you can do?
What?
You can just get them. I don't know how much coal costs,
Yeah.
but if you get them coal,
yeah.
you can be like,
Wait till Christmas next year.
I got you a diamond.
Just takes a little
They're
hard
like,
work.
this is coal. And they're like, no, that's just a diamond, and it hasn't been formed
It's
yet.
a make your own diamond kit. Isn't that
Right?
fun?
Yeah. So if you just give it a little time and give it a little pressure,
You got yourself
you're going to have
diamond.
a big fat rock on your hands.
Update. The card has $1.29 left on it. We have mutually decided to go low
No,
contact for now.
No, wait a minute. No.
$1.29.
$1.29. I refuse. I refuse to accept that.
Yeah, that's how much it has.
I mean, you're not even. It's
$1.29.
not even wrong. It's like 29 cents is 0.29 of a dollar. But I just, my brain hated that.
$1.29. But that's an insane amount to give to someone and be like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Mark wishes to go absolutely no contact, but wants to maintain a positive relationship with his sisters. So low contact it is for now. I can definitely see it changing in the future. I will learn to lower my expectations from them and will no longer be eating at their place. I had a phone call with Kaya and said I just don't feel safe continuing to eat at her house. She apologized by saying that she's just so sorry that I feel so unsafe, that I have to keep her son from her on Christmas of all days. Mark chimed in here and stuck up for me, and I'm not marrying a man-child. LOL.
That's good.
But that's the end of that story.